incredible man. I only do things incredible can. Cause I am the seed of a chosen breed. You don't see too many like me. Cause I am one of the reasons you do what you do when you wanna be me instead of you. Cause I am still on beat, showing love to the streets. Come on, you know me, cause that's who I am.
And good morning on Saturday Morning Support Talk with Kevin and the gang. It's rare we actually have 5 people in here at this time in the morning, but Will actually got here before the song.
Shots fired. And I can't believe he fired him at Will first. Good morning, everybody. Just fired him over here. Will, you got something to say to Terry, don't you? Don't you have something to say to Terry? You know what happened to him yesterday? He was 11 minutes late to the pregame show.
Shut your mouth.
Yes,
Shut your mouth.
This generation.
This generation, Terry.
11 minutes
not that on-time, hard-working generation.
He said you owe him. You owe him 7 minutes, Will, because you're 18 minutes late.
That is about the dumbest thing I've ever heard, Tom. I mean, when it's either
you
like
were
this. Let
late,
me put it just to you straight.
Defend yourself.
It's either me bring the food or leave it there.
Pretty much.
So
it wasn't your fault.
There you go.
It's the restaurant's fault.
I wouldn't blame the restaurant. They're doing the best they can. I mean, I'm never going to do that. No.
You're a good man, Terry.
Just took a little bit longer. That's all it took.
Well, I heard you met my student, Tatum Presley, up there at Mitchem's kitchen.
I did. I
didn't realize she worked up there.
See there, she even knows where the best place is.
That's right.
West Lincoln.
She goes, do you know a guy named Harry Reinhardt? I was like, yeah, I know that guy. She goes, well, he comes in there and says all this. She said, she went to me, he asked her where he went to school, Burns. Oh, you got to know Tom. I said, yeah, I'm in his third period class. So, yeah, they're good people up there at Mitchem's kitchen. Tatum's a good kid. I'm sure she works hard for him, and I enjoyed my bacon, egg, and cheese on toast as I get every Saturday morning. It was delicious. What does everybody else eat? Sunrise wraps? Y'all love those sunrise
Yeah,
wraps.
we're gonna get on that here. And I am. Hunter's already nibbling away at his.
Man, I'm telling you.
No, don't tell us anything right now.
I'm just, I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry.
I noticed most of the time his is gone. But now he finally went back. Now it's starting to get back to winter, and he said, I got to get some meat on this body.
Get some meat on these bones, man. It's cold outside.
Hunter's a happy plate eater, if you know what I mean. He will clean a plate really quick.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah, that's what I was taught at a young age. Yeah. You know, you got to clean your plate before you can leave the table.
Jason was here last night. His brother, Andy, Terry, I've never seen. There's Tom Landry. I've never seen. If he walks backwards down here, I'll look just like Michael Jackson, won't he, Will?
He would.
But you ought to see Andy saying clear a plate too. I mean, he's not a big guy really. He's just a happy plate eater like Hunter. He'll smoke a plate so quick before you blink. So yeah, Will. We're about 11 minutes late last night, so we chalked him off on it.
Yeah.
It's karma. It's karma is what it is, isn't it?
I'll remember that next time, and I'll be like, "Whoops, I gotta go."
It's because Terry threw it's probably because Terry you threw the 18-minute jab at Will last week. That's why.
My God, all you got to do is get up and get in a car and come. It's not like you're having to stop somewhere. Yeah. I mean, I can help y'all out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. There's a little bit of precipitation out this morning. You got to be a little bit more careful on the roads, Terry.
Yeah.
Cannot be rushing. Terry, let me tell you something. I like that hat. And I like that hat.
I just now figured out what kind of junk.
Kyle Busch.
Signed hat.
How did you not know that?
That's
I
right.
just wasn't paying.
When he said, "Oh yeah, let me put this on,"
He's,
I thought it might be a Denny Hamlin.
Kyle's going on a little bit of a media tour. He's on his championship media tour right now, and I just listened to the podcast on my way here this morning that he did, that I was listening to. He basically said, "Yeah, they call me a jerk, and I'm fine with it." He said, "I'm fine with it." He said, "I am."
He is.
He said, "I am." So,
what more would you want? As you are a
Not to be a
NASCAR
jerk.
driver, well, he tells it like it is, and I
Jimmy
love
Johnson,
the time
Richard
when he
Petty,
got
yeah.
off. Scraping his eyes like, quit your crying. I mean, you know, a lot of people hated him when he did that.
Did you see the size of that cup?
Oh, yeah.
That thing, it's probably second biggest compared to the Stanley Cup. I think it's huge. He put his son in it. He put his son in the cup.
Hey, in the Stanley Cup, though, the whole team picks it up. He just pick it up by himself.
Yeah,
That's
true.
just shows how strong
NASCAR drivers aren't that big at all. Now we're talking Kyle Busch's feats of strength. Is that where you're going to go with this, Terry? Okay, if you're watching Saturday Morning Sports Talk, we're on YouTube Live. Good morning to all of our viewers. You find my camera. Good morning, everybody. Will's down in the bottom. He's on the group cam. He just stops in for a few minutes. Not on his way to work, but out of his way to work to get a Mitchem's Kitchen biscuit in the mornings.
They understand.
Instead of going A to B to C,
I think
Will
we had
goes
this
A,
discussion.
C, B, Tom.
We had this discussion last night.
Yeah.
My presence is needed for us to talk Packers football. Me and Tom to talk about my cousin Bo.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Terry to get in an argument about how old he is. And give JP something else to talk about besides Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey, I brought my son in here last night and had him.
I've
"Go down
actually
there and ask
never
JP
played
some
that
questions."
game.
And guess what? I actually have.
Hey, so there you go.
I actually have.
Although
Don't
I
worry,
love
I
the Big Bang
haven't.
episode
I'm pretty
with
sure
Howard
Tom
does
has.
voices
I think
for the
Tom has.
games, so.
I
I
used
can
to
see.
watch the cartoon when I was a kid.
I do remember the cartoon.
There was a cartoon on Saturday. Back when they had Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, Saturday morning.
Back before YouTube, there was Saturday.
That was special.
When
Huh?
they- yeah, well, no, they were still Saturday morning cartoons. On Saturday mornings, growing up in like the early 2000s, there were still certain things that they would show on Saturday mornings compared to the rest of the week.
They're dying out, though.
And they actually,
Yeah.
today, there still are. When I was in college, they still do it.
Well, there you go.
Oh, God, that's been 30 years ago.
JP, never say that again.
The
Just don't
citizen-
Say
never
what,
say that
Ralph?
again.
Tom.
Okay.
He went
All right.
in college.
Okay.
I can guarantee there was Saturday morning cartoons.
Anyway.
I mean, get Grant,
Hey.
Grant, it was.
Hey, let's
Only
do the
about 3
scores.
years ago.
Let's do the scores. I know that people tune in. Let's do the
No,
scores.
what scores?
We
okay.
just lost
Let's do the
in
scores.
college last night, scores are.
Okay.
Is that what you want to do, Tom? The college scores?
No, I want to do the high school scores.
NBA scores right now. That's what people tuned in for.
Okay.
College basketball scores. Duke
Yeah.
versus
Georgetown.
Somebody like that. Is that the scores people turn into, Tom? They
I
don't want to
guess.
hear. I know what scores everybody turned into. They want to hear about them West Row End Falcons. Will, tell us about them.
West Rowan Falcons got gifted a game last night by the
There you
referees.
go, Tom. There you go. Here they come.
Let me guess. Andy had the call. White flag. You know that was. You know Andy had. Oh, Andy's a late flag. I know. Is every flag against Crest a
Yes.
late flag?
Yes.
I mean, what is an early flag? Would you rather the ref throw the penalty in
Before the
anticipation?
penalty.
Okay.
Anticipation.
But before y'all go on this super rant, it was a joke.
I know it was. That's why we're laughing.
To go on this super rant, it was a joke. We lost the game. We got penalized back on a touchdown run that was magnificent.
It was.
Timmy Ruff is a brilliant young man. They had a touchdown to get called back. The play it got called back on, the guy was 40 yards behind him as he was crossing the end zone.
Yeah, probably was.
What was it? A hold?
They called a hold, a block in the back, a hold, something 40 yards away from the ball. That was the go ahead touchdown that got called back there. But nevertheless, West Rowan showed up to play. Chris couldn't stop their run game. They ran it down Chris's throat all night.
You know, as people are around, Will, and I know y'all seen it, and it's more heartfelt to y'all than a lot of other people, but Crest has lost some games that never go away.
Yeah.
As long as you're playing football. I mean, when you go back to state championships and you miss field goals,
Yeah.
when you have opportunities to win, and games like this, or all of a sudden you can't get on the bus because we found out you got ineligible. I mean, if you go back on
Before 2005 when that happened with that was I felt bad for the other kids. You
Yeah.
know, they couldn't get on that bus because there's one kid on that's ineligible. That's just too bad, but that's just the way it works. But Crest has had a lot of success to kind of
Well, they
balance that out. So they've had a run where they didn't lose a game for a couple of years and won a couple.
But you know as well as I do, as far as Cleveland County, a lot of people say, well, Burns is there, Kings Mountain there. But Chris is like, hey, we're right next door. We're trying to catch Shelby Eagle with titles and stuff like that. And when things happen to you, you kind of like, man, what is this?
Yeah, I mean, it was a psychologically devastating to have that touchdown
At
call
that
back.
time,
It
2
was.
minutes and
That is.
14 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty tough to overcome, and is what it is. But I just like to tell people, and I catch myself on the radio every now and then, refs doing this, refs doing that. But it's a 48-minute game, and there's a lot that happens in 48 minutes. So you're going to remember that flag. But I'm glad Will brings up there's other elements to that game. If you want to win, you must stop the run.
Oh,
and if you can't stop the run, just ask the High Brighton Panthers.
Absolutely.
If somebody has 306 yards on you in a half, you're not going to win the game.
Yeah.
And I know Matt was being nice to him on the radio, saying, "Well, this thing's not over yet." And I'm thinking in the back of my head, "Yeah, it is. I mean, you just gave 306. I mean, is Luke Kuechly coming to play for you in the second half? If not, you're not going to win this game." And he ended up with another 100 and some yards in the second half, and I'm glad that smarter people prevailed because he's got 400, he can get 500. The state record's 510, but instead he was getting the first down and sliding down where he could have got another 5 or 6 yards and taken some extra punishment and maybe climbed up that chain a little bit. But I think it shows that he's coachable.
Yeah.
That when you've got a kid who's got 400, what are a lot of 16, 17-year-old kids going to say? Coach, give it to me again. I want the record. Give it to me again. Instead, he's sliding down and saying, look, it's more than me. This is bigger than me. They're going to need me against North Lincoln.
Right.
Potentially, no disrespect, Terry, potentially that matchup with Shelby. They got to get by West Lincoln first. So we don't want to say, I'm sure a lot of people said, oh, they'll never beat South Point, blah, blah, blah. And, if they got to face West Lincoln, you're going to need them. So whoever they face down the road, he knew that I'm not going to take myself out of this game trying to break a state record. I thought I thought it showed tremendous coaching and character on their behalf last night.
Yeah, I think it did. 42 carries, 413 yards.
Yeah,
and
that's a season for a lot of
Think
kids.
about it.
That's
a career.
413 yards.
Yeah, but it's a season for a lot of kids if they have about 80 or 100 carries. And he did it in 42.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Mason Hewitt, the quarterback for West Lincoln, he's over 500, almost 600 yards, but that's all year.
Yeah.
Will asked me how many carries last night, and he didn't believe me. It was just 4 touchdowns and the 400
42
yards.
carries.
He would have had 5, but he fumbled one going to the end zone, and Starnes fell on it. But he would have had 5.
But surely to goodness, no one told him, hey, you're 70 yards short of the record or anything on the field or anything.
Well,
I would imagine.
a kid's got to know that. I'm
I
sure
guarantee that some coach of our knows.
Yeah, somebody on that staff knew.
Yeah, somebody on that staff knew that he was over 300 in the. But he had it so matter-of-factly, a lot of his coaches were saying, well, what's he got, a couple hundred? No, 306. Like at halftime, they thought he had a couple hundred. So, I mean, you can't say enough about the kid. I mean, and I know that maybe not everybody knows him. He's really just a good kid. Yeah. He's not like an arrogant jerk.
No,
he's just such a
That's what I was
he's
telling
a
them.
good kid.
I was telling them last night. He's a yes sir, no sir guy. I mean, he's a kid. You walk up to him and you'll never know that he's that great in football because he don't talk about it.
Wow.
Well, Dad said he gave him the scholarship award last year and thought it was a 9th grader.
He's not.
Well, he was a 10th grader last year. He's just a junior. I mean, he's just a junior, guys.
You could talk about his size. That's the main. Oh, he's not that big. He's not that big. But he kind of reminds me of Darius Ramsey, who played 6-7 years ago. He wasn't very big either. I'm gonna tell you what. He'd knock your head off. That's kind of like you are.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't want to tackle him. He does not go down with the first contact. He's got great balance.
Just between him and Mac in this, just trying the complete difference between how to tackle either one of them and it just the complete how hard it is to tackle either one of them. Just get a hand on either one of them, much less two. Tom, real quick before we move on to the next game, guys give up 35 points last night. What kind of offense? High Brighton. I saw a couple of long passes. North Lincoln's probably not going to throw too many long passes.
That was late, though.
Right.
The majority of that was late.
And remember, though, they also got beat by Shelby, who threw a lot of passes. So is the pass defense something you guys got to maybe work on? This week it doesn't matter that much at all. because North Lincoln's going to run the option into you, and this is going to be the best option you've seen this year so far. So you got to deal with that this week. But just defensive wise, what do the Bulldogs need to do to push on towards maybe a state championship this year?
I think they're having some breakdowns in coverage. I know that we couldn't see the game last week. You will be able to see it this week, from what I've been told.
Yes.
That they had some breakdowns in pass coverage. Jones on the first reception was the 90-yard touchdown was probably open by 5 or 6 yards. There was another one late in the game. I think it was Howell that got a touchdown for High Brighton. He was probably open by 5 or 6 yards. I mean, it looked like maybe a communication of when the safety's supposed to come over and help, or somebody just had a breakdown in one-on-one coverage. It's hard because as the announcer, you're focusing on, I'm going to look at the quarterback. Where's he going to go with the ball? Who broke down? Who didn't come over and help? And I think they've had a couple breakdowns in the secondary, but it's on film. You're going to break it down. Like Kevin says, you may get an extra week to work on it because you don't have to worry about it that much this week. But when the Shelby Lions come to town, if we get to that situation, if they're in that matchup, they're going to have to cover somebody because Shelby can put 4 or 5 on the field. They can really catch it. Can run and catch, and it's going to be a tough matchup.
And that's going to be a tough matchup for y'all next week. How do you defend against the Shelby speed? Yeah. They got 4 receivers that at any time, if you cover up 2 or 3 of the other receivers, they got 4 receivers over there.
Well, completely, Terry.
But if they make you,
it's a completely different matchup, Terry, for you guys, defensive scheme wise this week, right?
Well, our deal is we need to keep the ball for 6 or 7 minutes. Keep their offense sitting over there wondering what's
the 40-second play clock helps that strategy now.
Oh, it does for us. And if you watch the game last night, it's like Danny was like, man, this game's going to be over early because that's all they did, run.
See, but what I wonder, Terry, does West Lincoln have 6 defensive backs?
We probably do not.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
Because you're gonna need 6.
And what do you play? You're gonna have to play your zone. Try to keep them in front of you where they work it down. But Shelby's good enough. That's fine. We'll take that. But if we break one, he's gone.
I think a lot of things you guys might need. And it's easy to say here, but. You guys got to pressure quarterback on this. You can't just let Isaiah sit back and throw it 40 yards in the air with all that space.
Even at saying press the quarterback, if you press up against Isaiah Best, he can go. He can
I know. I'm just saying that's your only choice at that point. If you don't have the DBs to cover it, you got to make them throw it quickly.
Yeah.
And get rid of it, and then tackle in front. Because even let's say you don't. Let's say. You sit back in that zone and stuff, you're still going to get man-to-man matchups of 5 wide receivers out there, and Isaiah's going to sit back there and just – you can't let him throw it in the air like he does 40, 50 yards
Jahari has been their go-to.
He's outstanding.
Jahari Mitchell has been their go-to.
Well,
Camarde Husky will have the big game because he will be the least – he would be the least of the worries between Jahari and Daly.
Mm-hmm.
He will be the least – they wears
Daly gets loose quite a bit too.
But Camarde is the fastest one of those receivers. Camarde Husky is the fastest one. He got more speed than that whole receiving core. So he's the Tyreek Hill of the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
You just send him down the field and throw over the top to him. So that's
the only thing I'm looking at is next week is Shelby knows. Even Coach Ware was one of the first ones to say they're very physical up front. And so West Lincoln's going to come, and that's the only way we can win the game. Hold the ball, keep the ball, and he would be the first one to say out of all the teams they played last year, besides High Brighton, that West Lincoln was probably their second toughest game they had.
Yeah, they're going to have to gamble and blitz too. I mean, I know y'all said that Isaiah can run, and he can, but I think they're going to have to gamble a little bit and get to him and make him throw an interception.
Right,
something like that's going to happen.
That would be part of my strategy.
Most of his interceptions have been overthrows deep downfield.
Right. I will agree with that. He does let a lot of those go.
The stuff underneath, the stuff in the middle field and underneath, he don't miss those throws. He missed the throws, the big throws down the field. So unless he's just trying to kill him, he's not going to overthrow anything. Right there in the middle of the field. He don't miss there. With the short game, when they blitz, and you go to that short game, the slants and the stuff right there in the middle of the field, with Blix and him, he don't miss those throws. He missed the big throws where he get picked off at his when he overthrow one of his receivers that's running in deep, or he underthrow him. That's the only where that's what I've seen this season.
Let me put it to you like this: as far as West Lincoln, we won our first playoff game.
Yes, sir.
We won our first home playoff game.
Yes, sir.
And at the start of the year, if you'd have said, "Look, y'all going to be in the third round, going to Shelby," a lot of people would have said, "Nah, that'd have been the first round." They wouldn't have think.
This is
third
true.
round.
This is true.
You're going to, and you beat South Point on the way there.
Yeah, this is
You know
true.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So for West Lincoln, guys, you are at Thanksgiving and Shelby and Crest and Kings Mountain, all them know what that's all about. West Lincoln does not. I mean, it's the first time that I will say it like this: we're going to be able to eat Thanksgiving and enjoy it, even if we go out there on Friday and get thumped. But our Thanksgiving meals are going to be great.
Well, Terry, let me ask you this. Last year you say, well, I think it got the cat. Let's say you're sitting at the Cat Square Parade last year, and someone sitting there and bet and says, Terry, I will bet you that West Lincoln's going to win 2 playoff games next. Not just think about all the different things I'm about to say. They're going to win a playoff game next year, Terry. Then they're going to win 2. Second one's going to be at home against the South Point Red Raiders. Would you have told him to put his shine down? And then if you did, what odds would you have
Close that mason jar.
What odds would you have given him?
I would have, and this is no lie, and y'all can go back because I said this at the start. I thought the 2 running backs that we had in the backfield this year was as good as anybody that we've ever had. Mm-hmm. And I said that from day one. This team believed in themselves, and they got a young man on this team who's also a wrestler named Cannon Bridges. This guy don't know what an L is. He's going 110% of everything that he does. And he was the guy last night when I was over there in the first half, was pointing at other guys saying, you need to do this. That's a leader. I mean, you got to have that guy out there. And I saw him in the first quarter, no more than 5 minutes in the game. He was telling kids, you got to stay. You got to stay. That's your man, and he's on the opposite side. So, I mean, he was out there teaching. And this young man is somebody, I mean, he's coming into this game against Shelby probably less than 40 yards away from breaking the Lincoln County all-time rushing leader in the county into this game. Because, I mean, he's like, again, that's all I got to say about this young man. L does not mean, and you talking about prior of how it's yes or no. This is what this guy does.
Terry, is
it's
that
yes sir and
is
no
that a
sir,
strategy at
everybody.
West Lincoln? You guys don't. It might just be that everybody wrestles at West Lincoln. You always end up with a running back that's a wrestler over there.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, Mac George.
That's what
I'm saying.
Didn't Travis wrestle too? Devin Travis. Did he wrestle too?
Oh Lordy, I would have to go back and I don't think Devin Travis.
I'm just trying to think of all those fullbacks that you guys have had in the last
I mean,
about
we've
10
had a good many
years.
that's come through.
Yep.
Nathan Fansuk. I mean, Brendan Eichert, and everybody thought these guys were good, and it's like, oh, we're gonna fall back. Brendan Eichert, he's working. I mean, he was, he's a senior.
All right,
last
Hunter.
year.
So that means, no matter what, you and I should be in. Well, we don't have no idea where they're at. Winston-Salem or Chapel Hill or Raleigh, no matter what, for championship with KTC Broadcasting this year, because Shelby, West Lincoln, Burns, and North Lincoln are the Final Four in the West, and all of our teams. So no matter what, we got a guaranteed championship on KTC Broadcasting this year.
That's exactly right.
And last night, you were up in Statesville to see the Kings Mountain. We called it the booty spanking road tour.
It is the booty spanking road tour.
That's exactly what it is.
Just the guy putting the 10 seed. Last night upsets on the other side of the bracket, the 9-5 one, but it still doesn't matter. No matter what, Kings Mountain's on the road this year. They don't get that. They put in the new turf over there.
Yeah.
No playoff games. They lost a combined 5 points this year. And I went and looked. And I forgot. Chris, y'all lost by combined the 2 early games, 51-5. And I'm not saying y'all got the 1 seed. Y'all won the conference and everything. What I'm saying is that a 10 seed is the way they do the seedings. They've got to figure out some way to get Kings Mountain a better seed. Even as an 8 seed, they get 1 home game.
That's the best 10 seed in North Carolina high school football history.
That's what I
At
said
least
last
it's
night.
AC. They get a home game.
That's what I
Just
said.
one.
I said that last night. We showed up. We got off the bus, and
We got off the bus.
We got
What
off the
bus
bus.
was you on?
We got off the bus. No, we got out of
Hunter
the car.
showed
We got out of
up.
the cars.
Hunter
me-
showed up Will Boykin's
Yeah.
time at the in Statesville.
Wait, hold on.
Did not. I showed up at 6:30.
You was there, Hunter.
I was there.
Oh, my Lord
and all we had
Jesus.
to have it was set up before.
Why all of a
7.
sudden is it Will Borkins' time though?
Well, you're 7 minutes ahead of Terry. When he passes you, then it's Terry time.
I cannot help that Jawan was there before me. I cannot help
You didn't.
that.
You didn't get to Memphis with Spirit 6. Go
I
ahead.
wanted to get Hunter's take though on you've seen North Lincoln 2 or 3 times this year. It seems like it. Do they have a chance against Burns? I know a lot of people are just kind of saying that maybe they can't stop Pryor. But what will what does North Lincoln have to do to win this game?
North Lincoln, I'll put it to you this way. North Lincoln will match up better with Burns over Shelby. That's because Burns and North Lincoln play a similar style of offense. They both want to put the ball on the ground. I don't care what anybody says. If you haven't seen North Lincoln, don't just call them a bunch of country boys. Because those boys, just because you say that, they are athletic. Because when I watched them play Newton Conover and they spanked Newton Conover, it was not even in question. I walked down there at the end and talked to the defensive line coach that I graduated with that's at Newton Conover. He said, look, they got off the bus and they were bigger than I thought they were going to be, and they were faster than I thought they were going to be. He said they shocked me. So do they have a chance against Burns? Absolutely.
Do they have the speed? Do they have the speed? Do you think in the secondary?
Okay, well I'll say this, and Tom, and it's not me being smart. I don't think anybody's got the speed of Kewan Pryor. So, but that doesn't mean he's necessarily going to have all the holes.
Right.
Because
and
this is the reason why
I really think, but
North Lincoln has got Travali Price is 6'5", 6'6" defensive end that they have, and he's only a junior, and he can get in the backfield as fast as anybody.
Does he play right in? Does he switch?
Yeah, he's right or left end. They can put him at DT if they want. They move him around.
What's his
so
number?
much.
Do you remember?
56, I think.
So that's where Tommy say sweep away from 56.
I'm telling you,
It's a team.
let me tell you something.
Listen. With all due respect, North Lincoln's had a great year. They got a big line. They're going to push them. It's going to be like playing South Point, Tom, is what you guys, to give you an idea, I think, what you guys are going to have to deal with. The problem North Lincoln's going to have faced, whether you're going to admit it or not, Kewan's going to get loose at least once. And it's not. I'm not saying 3, 4, 5 times. I'm saying at least once. And once, what if once is the difference in the game?
Well,
What if Burns
but
shuts
he
down
asked if
the
they
North
had
Lincoln
an
team?
opportunity.
And I think
North Lincoln's got a big chance in this game. They do.
If turnovers go their way, and they control the ball like Terry's talking with West Lincoln, I think North Lincoln's got a chance. But the biggest problem, I know it's not the pass, but Kewan Pryor against these 2A defenses, you might have one kid that can catch him or 2 kids that can catch him. The reason Shelby and Kings Mountain shut him down is they've got the 4 defensive backs. So you've got to be able to go right side, left side with that. Because Kewan, I think you guys can against Highbright. I think you guys can plan for some of that against some of the weaknesses. The kid, I do what we mentioned last night, Tom. You guys did see it. Go back and watch the Crest film and look at the defensive tackle for West Rowan.
Big kid.
It's Julius Peppers out there playing defensive
bigger
tackle.
than Julius Peppers.
I mean,
Oh my God!
well, I want to mention something, and this is not what I'm thinking. And I know everybody say West Lincoln County against Cleveland County. Pryor is a big man. He's a small dude, but he's a big man and he's hard to stop. But when you look at a game, Nick Basil is one of the best adjusters I've ever seen in my life.
Nick Basil had that team ready. I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
They won't leave the field.
I saw him redo some stuff against West Lincoln when West Lincoln should have beat them that he did in the second half that stopped everything. And if you don't get me wrong, Divine's as good as him.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm going to say because they're both great coaches and a lot of skill things going to be done in the game to change stuff. But if you think North Lincoln don't have a chance, all you got to do is go back and look at the people they have played. And I go back and look at South Point playing Burns, and it took a field goal. Well, you know what? West Lincoln beat South Point also. So I mean, you cannot sit here and say.
He's saying the Rebels are better than. He's saying the Rebels are better than the Burns Bulldogs. Because y'all
that's
beat them.
not what I'm saying.
In fact, West Lincoln beat South Point by more points than Crest beat them. So they're better than Crest too, right? They're on the board better than Crest.
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm just wondering.
I'm just saying that when you put two teams who are going to run the ball at each other, it all becomes that offensive line.
Yeah, that's kind of what
Yeah.
clicking. The offensive line is clicking. What everybody forget? You go back to that Burns South Point game, yeah, and I know the offenses are very similar. But Coach Devine has seen this offense several times, 1,000 times. Now,
What about the North Lincoln offense scoring on Burns?
that's what I'm saying. He's seen this offense that North Lincoln is going to run.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember a time where he stopped this offense, shut it down completely, like didn't allow any yards with it, and he came up with a plan for it. Just like Coach Basil, Coach Devine have these boys ready.
Burns gave up more points to South Point than West Lincoln did. And then West Lincoln beat Crest by more points.
You can throw that game completely out the window. You can forget it. It is playoff time. It's third round playoffs. Getting ready
That's
to go.
exactly what I mean by
Yeah.
there's no reason. There's no reason
Quit
to sit
looking
here.
at them back games and worried about what's going on with them.
Exactly, and I don't care what county you're from. This is the third round of the playoffs now.
Yeah.
You made it here for a reason. North Lincoln, there's a reason they beat Pisgah 42-10 last
Because
night.
they played Pisgah.
Well, even still, it doesn't matter. There's a reason.
They're the Granite Bears, Will.
But there's
Granite.
a reason. And there's a reason, okay? North Lincoln only gave up 10 points to where Burns gave up 35.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to look at it that way, then,
And there's
defenses are stronger
Burns
on one
played high
side than
break.
the other.
Yeah.
Let's not forget Burns played high break.
I mean, but we could
North Lincoln played
we can
Pisgah.
throw the numbers around. That's what I'm saying. I don't care what area you're from. They all matter at this point.
I think that's the game everybody needs to go to watch next week.
be
It's
good.
going to be outstanding.
So,
but here-
Tom, to answer your question,
Yeah.
does North Lincoln have a chance against Burns, or does Burns have a chance? Absolutely, it's going to be a punch-to-punch.
There you
team.
go.
I think what he's saying.
Two teams that run against each other. It's not like West
It'd be a
Lincoln
minute
playing a
different.
passing team, a
Yeah.
spread team like Shelby.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a whole different game. Your
Well,
run
Burns can
set
throw it.
against North Lincoln's run set
Yeah.
against
And
each
it's-
other up front.
But
Then
what he's
you got
saying
the
is,
option, and then you got the pro set, kind of what Burns run out of.
what's he saying? It's strength against strength.
Yeah.
I mean, because the strength sounds like their defensive line is pretty strong, and then Burns' offensive line, like Will said, is pretty strong. So that's, I think, what makes it interesting.
What
And then
about
you
your
talk-
passing game?
Then you talk about the adjustments. That's what I was going to say. Then the adjustments. If North Lincoln is able to shut that down and Burns adjusts, goes pro set.
Yeah.
Let's throw it around a little bit. Can North Lincoln
Well,
adjust
I mean,
to that?
North Lincoln,
It's
they
co-
shut down East Lincoln, and East Lincoln likes to throw the ball
Defensive
around the yard.
wise,
Maiden, they shut down Maiden. They like to throw the ball around the yard.
But
so,
neither one of those two teams have the athletes.
Yeah.
that Burns
No,
has.
they.
You got KJ, you got Tweety, you got Twitter, and
Degree.
You got Degree.
Tom, defensive wise for North Lincoln, it's going to come down to what they're going to have to do with their safeties. I think whether they're stepping forward, looking at Keyone, trying to make sure they get the right angles on them, because you never know until you're on the field of someone and you take the wrong angle that first time.
And it ain't gonna take but one time for you to realize.
I remember I took a wrong angle on Mario Dye one time, and he was 10 yards past the spot I thought we were going to meet at. Thought we were having a meeting on the 20. He's having a picnic on the 10. So that first time that happened, so after that, then are you guys going to hit them up deep on some passing games, because you guys can go deep. You got some pretty decent wide receivers as well, right?
Yeah, Leslie's pretty good. As he said, Twitty's caught some deep balls. Degree, they have to watch him. They like to get him in space and run the screen to him. Burns has run that same screen where it's just a jailbreak. They just let the defensive line and whoever's blitzing come up. They throw right
behind.
Right where they came
Cameron's
from,
big
right where they
shit.
And
came
the
from.
I mean,
reason-
you also have to think about this game. Is Pryor going to have 400 yards? Probably not.
Probably not.
and the reason
So
I'm
if they
putting
keep
it-
him to 100,
And I'm just trying to keep
They're
it
in
in
the game.
perspective. I'm like, look, just because they're Cleveland County, if you want to crown them, but I'm not gonna,
that's what I'm saying.
Look, if you want to crown them, crown them.
If you had to pick a game,
Well, I'm
and
gonna
this is
crown 'em.
me.
I'm not.
Well,
I'm going to crown him.
Well, I'm
I'm
going to put
not.
it to you like this.
No,
If you're going to pick either West Lincoln and Shelby or North Lincoln, that's the game
That's
that you
the
would
game.
say North Lincoln would win.
That's the game.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is, just
If you
because
gonna crown them,
if you don't crown them, just go ahead and. But I'm not
To
one that's
be
just
the
gonna say
man,
Burns is
you
gonna
got
just.
to
They
be
are who we thought they
man.
were.
Yeah, they are who we thought they were.
Now go
That's
buy your
exactly right.
tickets, people. We just sold
Tom,
a bunch.
what was y'all score in the Shelby game?
I think it was 26-16.
So 26-16.
It was a 10-point game.
So y'all are a touchdown away from being the 1 seed in this game, being at home, basically, maybe.
I tell you,
Turnover too.
It is. I will tell you this. I hate road games. I would much rather be in the comfy confines of Burns High School. Yeah, last night we didn't have a bad view, but we were in the press box looking through. They'll
treat you just fine down there at North Lincoln.
They will.
They love us. Oh, they love
do
us. Oh, yes. Tell Carrie Hunter says hey.
I like the road warrior status. That's
like
why
being at home.
I like Kings Mountain chances of going on the road.
Oh, I love
and going
Kings
to the
Mountain. There's a difference in Kings Mountain. Kings Mountain is a low seed and has a lot of weapons.
Oh my goodness!
All right, so so our KT broadcasting schedule next week, guys. Let's go over that real quick. Then we'll give you the scores and get out of here for our first break. We got other stuff to get to. So next weekend, we've got Kings Mountain next Friday night at AC Reynolds, West Lincoln at Shelby. Jeff, Brent will have that, of course, and Burns at North Lincoln. Tom and Ken and Matt and Hunter, you might be up there for that one. So what we're going to do on the radio, West and Shelby game will be on WCSL and WHS. So in Shelby and Cherryville. So West Lincoln folks should be on Cherryville again, like you were this week. Burns and North Lincoln will be on WLON. You can watch that game. Still, you should be able to watch Kings Mountain and Reynolds unless the folks in Georgia, Tom, claim that game. That's how that works. And we're still working on our. So Terry, if you can round up some West Lincoln sponsors on Monday, and Will and Shelby on Monday, you guys, we can do West Lincoln.
$250 apiece.
Well, if you get 2, that's how the math works. I mean, we're already dedicated to 100. Actually, you really only need 2 instead of the $250 apiece. So $200, man, just to get the video. Surely someone in Vail has that on them, Terry, in their pocket right now, especially after last night, after all the non-illegal gambling that went up on it in that corner of the county. I would imagine.
I think all
the
that
friendly wagers.
Listen,
somebody's got $200 to get us on the video Friday night.
All that creek water they drunk in Vail last night. I don't know if anybody got any money.
Tom, we were all just so wondering if we were going to actually have breakfast this morning because of what the partying up that way.
Terry might have been a little too hungover, but he looked a little glassy eyed when he came in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good thing. It's not like, in the school you have to. If you got a CDL, you got to take it. Every once in a while they pop you for one. It's a good thing Terry didn't get that random KTC Broadcasting whiz quiz because he might have flopped this morning.
He did want to thank all the South Point fans that were at Mitchem's Kitchen last night before the game, getting full before they got beat.
That was something. I mean, really, there's a lot of people.
They travel and they eat.
Yeah.
Like when you go to Burns, or when they come to Burns, if you go to the restaurants, you will see the Belmont people. You better know how to handle them too, because they don't mind. They don't mind telling you they're.
I got behind like 6, I'm guessing Belmont cars after the South Point game up there this year, and the only reason I say that is because only that many cars going from Lawndale towards Kings Mountain at one time had to be the South Point folks. There's not, at that time of night, how many people's going, through there? But yeah, they did travel well, and Terry and them big win last night. So next week you guys will be in Shelby. Burns at North Lincoln, Kings Mountain at AC Reynolds. That's our broadcast. The rest of the matchups, guys, I'm going to give you the matchups and let the guys read the scores from last night. Next week, in the 1AA, Mountain Island will be at East Surrey. That's the 5 at 1 seed. The 6 seed, Swain County, will be at Mitchell, the 2 seed. In the 1A playoffs, Robbinsville will be hosting Murphy, 1 versus 4. And Elkin 2 will be hosting 3, so all chalk in the 1A. In the 2A playoffs, Mountain Heritage 1, it's all chalk as well. 1 will be hosting 4, West Stokes. 2, Reedsville will be hosting 3, Brevard. In the 2AA, we'll have North Lincoln at the 2 seed hosting 6, Burns. And the 1 seed, Shelby, hosting 12 seed, West Lincoln. In the 3A playoffs, Charlotte Catholic and West Rowan will be playing after both with the upsets last night. On the road, Catholic will be hosting West Rowan now, and Kings Mountain will go on the road to AC Reynolds. Kings Mountain still with the lowest seed, so no matter what, if Kings Mountain wins in the mountains next week, they will be at West Rowan or with a rematch again last year at Charlotte Catholic. Did you do that game last year?
Yeah,
so
I did.
you did the Statesville and the Catholic game last year,
And
so we could have We could
I
have.
can't remember where it was at though.
We could have all the rematches from last year, the Kings Mountain rematch tour.
Yeah.
3A playoffs. I got Weddington. Let's see if I can find them on the board. Terry, what about Northeast, Guilford, and Cabarrus? Who won that one? Terry.
Northwest Cabarrus.
There you go. You're the scores.
Yeah.
Mount Tabor and Dudley. Who won that one?
Mount Tabor.
So Mount Tabor will go to Watauga. So Weddington will be hosting Cabarrus, and Watauga hosting Dudley. All right, let's give the scores from last night. We got 4 boards. We'll let y'all just rotate boards. I want you to start with the first one.
All right, it was the West Rowan Falcons over the Crest Chargers 35-30.
I'm sorry, I lost my headset. What'd you say again?
It was the Burns Bulldogs 52 over the Hibernian Panthers 35. It was North Lincoln 42.
Oh, that's the Granite Bears, not the Pisgah Bears. Andre got that wrong.
Pisgah 10. Let me see if we turn right there.
We're gonna rotate. Terry, next board.
It was Shelby defeating Maiden 49-7 last night. Kings Mountain no trouble with Statesville 38-7, and West Lincoln defeats South Point 29-21.
Are you gonna get that tattooed on your chest? 29-21.
No.
Okay. Hunter, next board.
It was East Surrey 52, Starmount 0.
I want to say something about that one,
Yeah.
Hunter.
You want to talk East Surrey tattoo?
No, nothing about that, but East Surrey beats Starmount 52-0. East Surrey is the only team who beat Reedsville this year.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead, Hunter.
East Surrey, was that 1A?
Yes.
You know who the head coach of East Surrey is?
Yeah, think of that.
I do not.
I do. That's Trent Lohman.
It is.
He was a coach when I was in high school with Bandies.
Okay.
Swain 38, Bessemer City 12. Why didn't we have that kind of success, Trent? That's all I want to know.
I knew that was coming. I was waiting for it.
Mountain Island 42, Mount Airy 35. That took 2 overtimes. Mitchell 28, Polk County 0. Robbinsville 40, Allegheny 22. Murphy 64, Winston 44. Freaking barn burner. Good God.
Yeah, another thing
Defense,
about
not a
those
question.
two right there, Robbinsville and Murphy, that's a clash of probably 17, 18 state titles.
Didn't Bandies make the Final Four last year, Hunter?
In what?
Or the Final 8 last year in
They made
football?
the final 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
All
look
right.
at them this year.
All right, yeah, okay.
Out
Go ahead.
in round 1. Weddington 56, Parkland 6, Northwest Cabarrus 56, North Guilford 35, and now I'm starting to have to stand up. Mount Tabor 37, Dudley 21, and A.L. Brown Falls to Watauga 55-27.
All right, Tommy.
Okay, very quickly, our friends at Thomas Jefferson defeat Albemarle 40-0. Mountain Heritage over Owen 18-7. Elkin over Andrews 41-13. It was West Stokes over Eastern Randolph 26-21. Bavard ends Chase season. Very good season for Chase
Yes, it was.
to win a playoff game. So good job, Chase Trojans, but they go down to Bavard 48-21. Reedsville, who you mentioned earlier, Terry, they're moving on 49-13 over Newton Conover. Newton Conover, a good year though. Let's not, they had a pretty tough schedule this year, but they still won a playoff game. So congratulations to them on a good season, but it's come to an end. AC Reynolds over Northeast Guilford 40-0, and Charlotte Catholic, the Fighting Rosary Beads, end Hunter Huss's season, Terry, which they have really turned it around. But they've turned it around. I wrote them off. I left them for
Charlotte
dead.
Catholic?
I did.
Well,
I
I'm going
did.
to tell you something about
I
that
thought- I
team,
didn't
and we
think-
mentioned it last night. It's a team that makes no mistakes.
That was Terry's Halloween costume.
I mean, they're not going to
Yeah,
fumble. They're not going to do anything like that. They're not going to throw interceptions.
But they had some losses early in
They
the
did
year
against
and I
teams
thought-
that were outside
right.
of
I
North
thought-
Carolina.
I said, finally, Charlotte Catholic's not going to have that dominant year that they have
They lost to
every
2
year.
Christian
Yeah.
type schools.
And then a good Hunter Huss team, not as good as last year, but they took care of them, 34-20.
All right, Will, I know you got to go. Sunday night football.
Yes, sir.
$170 if you go to San Francisco and don't step in the poop. You can see the Packers play.
Yes, sir.
You going to take that trip?
No.
No? Okay, so Packers against the 49ers.
I think I get a better seat at the house in front of mine.
Are they the Santa Clara 49ers now?
That's where they're at. Levi Stadium is in Santa Clara.
Santa Clara.
That's what they should be then. They're the Santa Clara Niners. Why not?
I know.
It's crazy.
Will.
I'm tired of people changing names.
I was getting ready to say, don't say that too loud.
Will, are you guys going to make the 49ers the 5 seed by the end of Sunday night?
We would definitely make them the 2 seed by the end of Sunday night.
No, they're the 2 seed already.
No, they're not.
The 49ers are. Or if they lose, the Seahawks will take over the division. They'll drop all the way to the 5 seed if Seahawks win. So if Seahawks beat Philadelphia and y'all beat the Niners are down to the 5 seed.
If you look at the NFC,
I just told you what would happen.
I'm telling you, if you look at the NFC, they're number 1 in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay is number 2.
Right.
We gonna worry about making them drop to number 2.
What I'm telling you though, if y'all win and Seattle wins, they're 5.
Okay. Well, I'm worried about what we can do. I don't care where they go. But yeah, that's gonna be a good game. But I think we're up for the task. And that great defense is like the Panthers' great defense, and we'll score 27 points and come away with the victory.
Well, the Panthers' defense is pretty Swiss cheese like this year. I think they're 27th now in scoring or 25th in scoring now. Not the strength of the team for Carolina. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. So you got the Packers winning Sunday night?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's get out of here, JP. We've talked a long time about the playoffs. We're excited about our matchups next week, folks. On KTC, we've got a guaranteed state championship game in the 2AA playoffs for KTC. We hope Kings Mountain can make that way too. Even Thomas Jefferson's still in our area, and I think that might Mountain Island's still in the area. So, folks, stay tuned next week, and we'll give you some more high school coverage. We'll tell you some more about it here later in the show here on KTC. When we get back from break, we'll do the top 10. Will can listen to that on the road and in tears as he goes to work. JP, you ready?
There's no tears.
There's no tears for Will today. He's going out to sell all kinds of cars. Yes, he will. We'll be back in a minute. KDCBroadcast.com.
I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join the boss for the Turkey Test Drive Sales Event this Saturday, November 23rd at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. When you take a test drive this Saturday, you'll get a certificate for a free turkey from Orris Supermarket in Shelby. Test drive a Honda, get a free turkey. Test drive a Kia, get a free turkey. Test drive a late model pre-owned vehicle, get a free turkey. This Saturday, November 23rd only. And join the boss for a live radio remote broadcast from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We'll be there with free Subway sandwiches from Subway in Boger City, plus chips and soft drinks too. And be sure to register for a free turkey, plus free rounds of golf, free food certificates, boss t-shirts, and more. So plan now to be there this Saturday, November 23rd for the Turkey Test Drive Sales Event. And that's no bull. At Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby. It's a pre-holiday sale. 2 big days of savings right after Thanksgiving. Friday, November 29th and Saturday, November 30th at Straps Jewelers, 315 East Main Street in downtown Lincoln. Take 20% off inventory items, excluding special orders, layaways, repairs, and SGB line. Great doorbusters will be available both days from 9 till 11 a.m. In addition, with each purchase of $200 or more, you'll automatically be entered into their 12 Days of Christmas drawing. There will be 12 winners from December 2nd through December 14th. Each winner will receive a VIP shopping pass for an additional 25% off to be used through December 31st, as well as a free gift. Plus, the first 25 customers who spend $50 or more will receive a gift with purchase. That's at Straps Jewelers, November 29th and 30th in downtown Lincoln.
Once upon a time is right now. Escape to the Renaissance Festival, a time-traveling adventure. Huzzah! Saturdays and Sundays, October 5th through November 24th.
You'll love the Renaissance Festival.
Incredible value, wondrous entertainment, and delicious food.
Eat, drink, be merry at the Renaissance Festival. Saturdays and Sundays, October 5th through November 24th.
Don't miss it. Too jolly good.
There's music, comedy, circus entertainments, a giant crafts market, jousting nights, and a feast, all rolled into a non-stop great family adventure. Presented by Pepsi. Discount tickets at Hedestita stores or print your own online at renfestinfo.com. Renaissance Festival, here I come.
Heroes, villains, costume players of all types. It's Time Travelers Weekend at the Renaissance Festival. Come as you are or dress as your favorite character and time travel to the Renaissance.
The $1,000 Christmas cash giveaway is back, and you could be the winner of $1,000 from KTC Broadcasting and the What's Up Shopper. All you have to do is register at one of our participating merchants, including All Ray Tire on East Main Street, Cherryville, Ronaldo Kia on East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby, Falston Pharmacy on Highway 18 north in Falston, at Noble Mattress on South New York Road in Gastonia, Hillbilly's Barbecue and Steaks off I-85 in Lowell, Basic Finance Company on East Main Street, Shelby, Flooring America on Slater Street, Kings Mountain, Carolina Hardware on the Reedsville Road in Lincoln, Allen Drugstore on Main Street in Stanley, Mitchem's Kitchen, Highway 27 West in Vale, Trackside Traders, South Railroad Avenue in Kings Mountain, Caputo's Pizza Company, South Mountain Street, Cherryville, and at Arnold's Jewelry, South Washington Street in Shelby. The drawing will be held Friday, December 20th. Business qualifiers will win a Christmas teddy bear. Entry rules may vary from store to store. Don't miss the annual $1,000 Christmas cash giveaway from KTC Broadcasting and the What's Up Shopper.
Buy or sell at the Gaston Pickers, located at 503 Long Avenue in Gastonia. They've got it all, from antique furniture to collectibles to consignments. And they do estate auctions too. And right now they're accepting motivated dealers. Just call 704-852-7055 or come by their huge store. Open Monday through Saturday 10 to 6, Sundays 1 till 6. That's the Gaston Pickers, 503 Long Avenue in Gastonia. Like them on Facebook too. Unless the Lord builds a house, its builders labor over it in vain. This is from Psalms 127, and this verse is what Key Builders in Lincoln is built on. Key Builders in Lincoln is large enough to do what the big boys do, but small enough to be personal. Bring your own plans or visit the website at keybuildersnc.com and view theirs. They have homes for everyone, so call your local hometown builder, Key Builders, 704-735-0040, or visit their office at 1459 North Aspen Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook too.
And welcome back to Sam Moore Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. Kevin's somewhere. But yeah, I was going to let y'all know that Coach P has been on the line before we went to break, so he wants to chat. He's running a little late this morning, so.
Hello?
Hey, Coach.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Big Friday night here on KTC. Happy Saturday, rainy morning. What you got? Where'd you go last night, Coach? Did you go to a game?
I was actually at a little Ironman banquet at Woodbridge, so then I headed over to Shelby and Maiden for a little while, and then actually my daughter wanted to go see Crest, so we rolled over to Crest and watched both games for a little bit.
Okay, you took a big tour last night, didn't you? Well, tell us about the end of that Crest Husk game. You know, a lot of controversy there at the end. What did you see on your end, and what happened there in the stadium?
Well, without film, it's hard to see a whole lot of anything. But it looked like on the play that got called back, it looked like there was a block in the middle of the field that got called for a holding maybe or whatever. So I just know that it got called back. It was a big play, of course. The kid that scored on that play had scored earlier in the game, a very talented kid. Is his last name Russ?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very good. He, I thought, was a very good player. But, you know, there was a lot of good players on both sides of that field. That was an impressive football, impressive teams, and an impressive game. I thought both teams played really well.
How big was that defensive tackle for Westro Land?
He's a big guy, 44. He stood out for sure. They had a couple of linemen, 63 and 50-something, stood out too. I mean, both teams were very impressive, and good luck to West as they continue on. Congratulations to Coach Ed and his group. You know, a lot of good teams in our area won last night, but also a lot of good teams didn't win. So it speaks volumes for our area and how good our programs are around here, and good luck to the teams that continue on. You know, I heard y'all mention we'll have a representative from our area in the 2A championship game, so good luck. And, of course, Kings Mountain, the Road Warriors, I guess, will get some shirts made up, but they'll keep rolling on as well. So, but I just wanted to call, and during the week got to go see Will Burns' Maiden group practice one day, and I went to Cup Sunday and watched them practice and seen Will practice. And, you know, I get to pick up a few things and then hopefully get to see those teams play on Friday. So I thought Will's bunch was definitely in the game at the first half. He got down there and had a chance to tie the game. Number 3, which I hate to say I don't know his name, got injured, their best running back. And it seemed like the game really changed. But, you know, when Shelby took care of the ball, Shelby's hard to handle. In the first half, they didn't take care of the ball as well, so that made that game a little closer than it could have been. I think they fumbled on the one right before I got there, and then had a touchdown called back, and then had a turnover on the very next play. So it was definitely, enjoyed getting to go out and see some teams play, and hopefully everybody enjoy a happy Thanksgiving, get to do the same thing next Friday night.
Well, Coach, the 44 is Zeke Biggers. He's a junior, and he's still growing.
Oh, yeah.
He's 6'6".
How big is he?
6'5", 300.
I got you, sir. Here we go. Yeah, he's all of that. That's for sure. I think he's a bit bigger than that.
They've got on their board 6'4", 250, 6'6", 275, 6 foot 305, 6'5", 285, 6'6", 275.
Right. They were a giant team. I mean, it's a
6'3", 260.
Like well, listen, I'm over here at the Cherryville High School gym working the gate, and we've got people rolling in. So if anybody wants to watch a little wrestling, this is the place to be. So take you guys off the air, and y'all have a great Thanksgiving, Kevin.
Okie doke, you too, sir.
Thank you, Coach.
Happy Thanksgiving to the Cherryville Linemen and everybody over there. They're doing some wrestling in Nixon Gym today. Get over and check that out. Cuz is a wrestler too. Jaden Blanton, really good wrestler. Do y'all wrestle Cherryville this year?
We always wrestle.
So
Jaden will get to.
always wrestle. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
We'll get to
That's
wrestle.
what y'all known for. You're trying to make yourself a football school.
I accidentally.
Oh, we're trying.
Trying to make yourself a football school.
Hey, we're just lucky to be at Thanksgiving.
If JP will take his headsets out. There we go, JP. Happy morning. All right, you can start working the cameras now, JP. You got stuff to do. We got the show set up. He's going to start working the one cams.
Oh, you got one cam.
We got one cam set up.
Look at that, like a small little production company.
We're doing a little bit here. We just the problem is, Hunter, it's the motivation in the room in there. half-point
Yeah,
favorites.
they'll win. They should.
Will they cover the spread?
Overranked. What are you talking about, Terry?
Minnesota's overranked. When you jump 9 teams and throw 9 teams underneath you, then all of a sudden you get in your big game and you falter.
They beat Penn State.
Okay.
I mean, that was a big win.
You
Penn
don't
State,
jump 9 spots.
Yeah, you do if you're still one of the only unbeatens remaining.
Terry, should Penn State be ranked ahead of Minnesota?
No.
Okay.
Penn State's overranked every year.
Yep.
The only time Penn State was good when Joe Paterno was there, and a lot of people don't like Joe Paterno. You know, I had a lot of things to do with that too, but they were good then. This team is overranked every year.
At 12 o'clock today, they go into the Horseshoe. Ohio State's favored by 19 and a half points.
I don't like
25 degrees.
Dude, I love it.
That's just not giving Penn State any respect.
Oh, I don't respect Penn State
Terry
at all.
says these two says no respect.
No.
for them.
Ohio State runs them in the ground.
I don't know, guy. I've watched, but now they have Chase Young back. They would not.
Appalachian would not beat Minnesota.
Yes,
No,
they
they
beat
would not.
Minnesota.
Appalachian
No.
wouldn't beat Penn State either.
I don't think Appalachian State would beat Michigan State. I mean, I don't think it's
Oh
score
my
on.
gosh! What disrespect!
I don't think it's score on.
What disrespect! They beat the greatest coach in
They
history,
needed
Mac Brown, according to everyone in this
They
state.
needed a dropped pass on 4th down to beat South Carolina's third stringers. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I don't understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah, you know exactly what I'm trying to say.
All I know is they beat South Carolina, who beat Georgia.
Who's Georgia State?
And Georgia is in the top.
No,
whatever.
Georgia Southern, isn't that who it is?
Georgia Southern has the 6th most
Wait a
national
minute.
championships.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
In
Wait a
America.
minute, Kevin. Yeah, I will say this. I'm going to be on your side. Didn't they beat South Carolina?
Who?
Appalachian?
Appalachian, yeah.
Didn't Appalachian? No, wait. South Carolina beat Georgia?
Yes.
How come they're up so high?
I don't know.
Overranked.
I don't know why they're so high. We're going to get to that in a minute. Hold on. We're going to get to that. Illinois, Iowa. 15.5-point favorites, Iowa.
Iowa.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State on the road in West Virginia. They're 7-3, ranked 21st, and they're only favored by 6 at a 4-6 West Virginia.
Does West Virginia still have a team?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they beat State.
Well, they did beat State. Yeah.
They got both back, got the same
They just
record.
fell off the map, didn't they? I mean, they were doing well for a number of years, but they must have graduated a lot of talent. I know.
So Kansas at Iowa State, 24-point favorites for Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
Yeah.
All right, Notre Dame 21-point favorites against Boston College at home.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
I hope they get beat, but they won't.
No, they won't.
App State plays a better team than Alabama does this week. Don't at me. 29 points favorites over Texas State. Is Texas State not better than Western Carolina?
Remember Texas State?
They're making Texas They're making Texas State come on like a freezing cold Appalachian.
Are they the Fighting Armadillos, like the movie Texas State?
They look like some type of Bobcats or Wildcats or something.
Yeah.
The Bobcats.
There you go.
The Fighting
Texas
Armadillos.
State.
You guys don't even remember the reference, do you?
I
The
do.
Fighting Armadillos.
Is that unnecessary reference?
Yes.
That was one of the best movies.
Necessary
reference. There you go. All right, Hunter. Does the fraudulent Bulldogs go down today?
Fraudulent.
Against Texas A&M.
I was looking to get tickets for this game weeks ago, and I was like, nope, I'm not paying like $150 for nosebleed tickets. I'm not buying through this crappy website. I hate this network.
$48.
I do. I can't stand that network. StubHub.
I guess that's where they send them. No, Vivid Seats.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. No, they don't fall today. They don't.
Terry.
Well, here's the problem. If you want to talk about teams that's playing people, Texas A&M been playing people every week. Somebody up there ranked. So, hey, give them opportunity. I don't think they can win between the hedges, though.
No. Especially not at Stanford.
Yeah.
Michigan 13 at Indiana, Tommy.
Indiana's better than people give them credit for. They've been in a lot of games. I think they cover, but I think Michigan is – everybody's sleeping on Michigan because they got spanked by Wisconsin, and then they got beat by Penn State, and everybody just forgot about them. They've quietly been just destroying people here lately.
My God, they got them ranked 13th.
Yeah, well, but nobody's talking about them, Terry. That's what I'm saying. Who's talking about Michigan? Nobody's talking about them.
I do.
Well, you
I talk
do.
about everybody in the Big Ten.
Oh, I'm sorry, Terry.
Yeah,
Indiana,
he poo-poos Michigan.
You know what?
You never know what tree you're barking up,
Indiana had a good chance to beat Penn State last week.
They did.
But the dumbest thing they do, they line up on 4th and short. They call timeout. Then they try to run a fake punt on like their own 40-yard. Nobody calls a timeout, then runs a fake punt.
Yeah.
Nobody does that except Indiana. then Penn State, one play, they get a 40-yard touchdown. And it was gone. It just broke Indiana's back. But they kept fighting that entire game. And really, if a couple of balls bounce Indiana's way, they might win that ball game at Penn State. So I think, is that game at Michigan or at
Indiana?
Yeah. I like Indiana to cover.
Bloomington.
I like Indiana to cover, but I think Michigan wins.
34 degrees and rainy in Bloomington.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. Baylor, 5 degrees, 5 points.
Baylor pulling an Atlanta Falcons last week.
How is Texas still getting voted into the rankings right now? Yeah, you know they're still getting votes. They're 6-4.
How come Baylor's up so high?
Because
Because all you got to do is
Terry,
play them, and you're going to score 90.
They're 9-1.
They're 9-1.
That was
everybody else has like 4 losses.
That was the most epic collapse I've ever seen.
That's what I said. They pulled the Falcons. They blew a 28-3 lead.
I would have fired that coach. I would have fired him Monday morning. I was like, you can't lose.
And they're that high too, Terry, because they lost. I mean, they still lost to Oklahoma. Like they lost to a good football team.
There you go.
So
we didn't lose to South Carolina.
They were. What
You're
were they?
Exactly right.
Yeah. Who have we beat this year?
Nobody.
Florida,
Who's
ranked
that?
10th. Auburn,
Tebow
ranked
ain't there
16th.
no more. Cam ain't there no
we
more.
beat Notre Dame, ranked 15th.
Joe Montana ain't there no more.
Barely at home.
Barely at home. We beat them 23-17. We beat Georgia, we beat Florida 24-17, and we beat Auburn 21-14.
It ain't about that. It's about who you lost to now.
Yeah, it's just one loss.
Who did that? That's a terrible.
Who did App lose to?
A barely worse team than y'all's.
Alabama's going to sit there and say, I lost to the number one team, and I'm
the Bulldogs don't want none of Georgia Southern, is what I'm telling you, Hunter. You don't want none of Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern could not beat Georgia on their best day, or even on Georgia's worst day. Here's the thing. Georgia and LSU are going to meet in the SEC championship game. If Georgia beats LSU, are they in?
That's not what's going to happen. LSU going to win.
What was my question?
Georgia's definitely whoever wins the SEC championships.
I cannot
no
see that happening.
Whoever wins the SEC championships in, no matter what.
So you're not going to answer the question. I'm just telling you. Look, they're the only one loss in the SEC.
Every
East.
year, Hunter, it's the champion and Alabama. That's how it works. All right, real quick, let's finish this. We'll get into that. SMU at Navy, 25 at Navy. Navy's favored by 3.5.
Navy pretty good. At Navy.
I'll take Navy. I don't trust SMU.
Tom?
SMU at one point was getting beat by East Carolina this year. I don't trust SMU.
Do the midshipmen drown the Mustangs?
I don't know. And SMU doesn't play a lot of defense, do they, Terry? I like Navy in that game.
Wisconsin's favored by 24
Here
at
it
home
is.
against Purdue.
Always beats somebody
not
every year, but they won't beat Wisconsin.
I was gonna say if this was at home
for $8,
maybe.
No.
But this is in Madison, so no.
No, they'll be jumping around in Madison.
Penny Hardaway's Memphis Tigers are 18th.
Penny Hardaway.
And they're
Yeah.
14 point favorites in South Florida.
Memphis. Where'd South Florida go, man? They fell off the map.
4-6. Arkansas.
This is a blowout. LSU by 42. Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Cincinnati
I'll take
by 10 at home against Temple.
They'll win.
They'll
on
win
home,
it.
at home.
Okay. Oregon on the road against the Fighting Herms, 13.5 point favorites, so they continue their march towards a possible playoff.
Go ahead
Go
and take 'em.
Duckies. Go
That's
Duckies.
that's the big Saturday night game. Everybody will be able to see that one.
I love Herm Edwards and
7:30.
what he's doing at Arizona State, but this is what I meant by the college football playoffs is going to play out. Because obviously there's going to get one SEC team in. It's going to be the winner of the SEC championship game. They're not getting Alabama in if Oregon wins out, because the only game that they've lost this year was the first game of the season. Since then, they would have gone undefeated to
Who
go
did
on
Oregon
and win
lose
the
to?
They lost to Auburn.
So what the voters will say,
Auburn
they
by
lost to
3
Auburn.
points.
Alabama beat Auburn. Auburn's in over
They
Oregon.
lost to Auburn in the last, literally 30 seconds.
Okay, then on this one, you better be not taking Herm in, because
No, I didn't take Herman.
everything will be all messed
I
up.
said Oregon.
TCU at Oklahoma. Upsets anybody?
No, Oklahoma.
At home.
Utah on the road in Arizona.
No, Utah's too good.
Number 7, Utah.
The Utes. Give me the Utes.
I'm gonna tell you what though. Get back to that Oklahoma game. Jalen Hurts, what a performance last Saturday. I was impressed.
He's getting himself drafted.
I will
but
say
I don't
this.
know when.
I will say this. You know, Tua replaced him. I know, but Tua is not one half as tough as Jalen Hurts. I'm
I
just gonna
agree.
tell you.
I agree.
Tua is not nearly as durable and as tough as Jalen.
Well, that's
Hurts.
what I
I
keep
agree.
hearing everybody saying too is a general. in college football.
So here's why we got to get app in the SEC or ACC or something, because you know the publicists and the PR matters. Boise State ranks 20th in the Mountain West. Utah now in the Pac-12 ranks 7th. You get into a conference, you get the validation. Arkansas, if they weren't 2-9. Oh, who is it? Texas 6-4. They're still getting votes because they're Texas. Boise State at Utah. Anybody got upset on that one? Only 8-point favorite for Boise State.
No.
In the Mountain West. All right, now let's argue about these
Is that
rankings
Mitt
for a
Romney
minute.
Stadium? It
Mitt Romney
says
Stadium.
Romney Stadium in Logan, Utah. Is that Mitt Romney? Does he own that stadium?
It could be his father too.
Wouldn't be surprised.
JP's looks like aircraft control carrier.
Oh, I
Needs
haven't
some
looked
running.
up. What's
Okay.
going on, JP?
He needs a break. Yeah.
Okay, in just a few minutes, folks. JP, just hold on, and cause then we'll split up and go to NFL in just a minute. JP, just give me about 5 minutes on that, and then we'll be good. I'm trying to pull up. That's standings, not rankings. I guess I gotta hit the right button there. Step 1, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let's do this. Does everyone at the table agree that LSU, Ohio State, Clemson should be the top 3 teams?
Yes.
In
Yeah,
any
one
type
way or
of
the
order.
other.
One way or the
Yeah.
other.
Okay.
Yes.
I agree.
Me, it's Ohio State. One,
Now,
but
let's go after that. We know Hunter thinks Georgia should be 4.
I never said I think they should be 4. I
Terry.
just think they're there. So
Terry,
I'm not
who do
gonna
you
argue.
think should be 4?
Alabama.
Tom, who do you think should be 4?
Oregon.
And Hunter, who do you think should be 4?
Oregon?
Okay.
How can you say that?
I
Because
think
they're good, Terry.
They're good.
They lost to LSU, the only team they lost.
They lost to
No,
Auburn.
they lost to Auburn.
Terry.
I mean,
They
I
lost-
know that, but I'm saying Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama
And
lost to LSU.
Only loss they had was to the number 1 team in the country.
2 words for
And-
Alabama. Play somebody.
Play somebody.
Play somebody. You're playing Western
If
Carolina.
okay, Alabama right now, and you
Play
don't have
somebody.
Tua at quarterback, so there's no guarantee that your football team is even better than Oregon.
So you're
who's
going to
got
sit here and tell me Georgia's 4 and they lost to South
no?
Carolina?
I'm sitting here saying Oregon should be 4.
We said Oregon.
I said
Okay,
Oregon
so
should be.
But
4.
Oregon lost to Auburn.
Oregon lost to a
Ah,
3-loss
okay.
Auburn.
All
Guess
the way
what?
down to 15.
Guess what? Alabama's going to lose to Auburn next week.
Now that would
I
change
hope so.
things.
I
Now,
hope
so Georgia, no, it's a Oregon lost to a 3-loss Auburn. Alabama lost to the number 1 LSU. Georgia lost to a whatever South. How many other losses South Carolina has? 12. Something like that nature. Pac-12, Oregon and Utah are matched up. Who do Utah lose to? They
I don't
lose to
know,
Auburn
but
too?
it's playing out where Oregon and Utah will play in the Pac-12 championship.
Right. They lost to USC
Southern
by
Cal.
a touchdown.
And Oregon beat Southern Cal.
So Georgia and Utah both lost to USC.
Just yeah.
To get back to my rankings, my internet went slow all of a sudden on me. Back up. Get back to my rankings. So you don't think Georgia should be 4?
I don't think
you guys
they should
got
be 4.
Oregon Ducks. I guess we could all agree on this, couldn't we? Don't you wish they could give us whatever their standards are and then put them in order of some type of, like in the power poll, I'll have points is the first thing, then record, head to head, and defense.
Yeah.
And the thing that people have problems with this is that there is no standard, and there is no standard is the standard. No standard is the standard.
There is. But the committee won't tell us what they're essentially going by. They always want to say
Right.
they're taking in SOS, strength of schedule. They're always taking into consideration strength of schedule, who you play. They're going to take into who you lose to, of course. That'll be a big factor. But other than that, I don't like you said, ours is at least simple. It's a points-based system. You get rewarded for wins. You don't get rewarded for losses. So I would love it if it went to that, but I think what's going to happen, and I've heard this, I've said this before a few weeks ago, they're going to expand, and it's going to definitely be before the 2023 mark that they were talking about. Because a lot of these teams, like the Pac-12, like the Big 12, they have so much money in college football in general, and they're sitting here saying, why do we keep getting left out for 2 SEC teams or 2 Big 10 teams or for a Clemson who doesn't play anybody in their conference? So why I think it's going to be Oregon.
Every team but about 4.
Yeah.
But every team but about 5.
Right.
Maybe 6 or 7 can go has to go undefeated.
I agree.
To be in, like North Carolina has to go undefeated. NC State has to go undefeated. The Big 12, the Pac-12
only needs one.
All those teams have to go undefeated.
Yeah.
Some teams can afford to lose a
one or
loss,
two.
and they'll still get voted in. In that.
And what I'm getting at though is why I think Oregon is going to get the nod is I think they're going to be there's going to be so much chirping in the committee's ear to leave out a Pac-12 champion that's only lost this year is to an SEC school who everybody can probably agree with is the best conference in college football. So that's why I think Oregon's going to get the nod, and I truthfully believe that Alabama is probably going to lose because we don't know what this kid is going to do against Auburn. It's still a big game. It's still the Iron Bowl.
without Tua.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
but can you always sit back and say the SEC is the best conference?
Well, to me, it's between the Big Ten or the SEC.
They got their top loaded, but then them
they got
bottom
2 or
ones are
3, and the
terrible.
rest of them are garbage. A lot of them are.
I think the Pac-10's closed the gap a little bit. I mean,
Pac-12.
Pac-12. Okay, I'm living in the 80s. Pac-12 has closed the gap.
They added Utah.
They did, and Utah's been a good program.
Yeah, it has. But the only problem I have with the Pac-12 is I don't want to see no 50-40 ball game. To me, that's not football.
Well, then don't watch SEC because LSU Alabama was 46-40.
It was
there.
46-40.
I mean, the same thing happening there. LSU doesn't have to play a whole lot of defense. Of course, you don't need to when you got Joe Burrow and company on the other side. But
all over the yard.
But I mean, Coach O's about the O, isn't he? And not playing a lot of D down there. So I mean, that's one thing I like. You go back to Ohio State is they do have arguably the best defensive line in football. So,
And arguably the best offense in football. Arguably. Now, I will say this. It's closer. This week's Final Four is closer than it has been in the past few weeks. But the conference championships are what's really Alabama schedule where they play one less game as Oregon, and say Oregon plays that one extra game, which is a conference title game, wins it, and they both only have one loss. So it's like, why would we poo-poo Oregon for going out there and winning their conference, going undefeated after week one over an Alabama team that you didn't even win your conference?
Well,
as a matter of fact, you didn't even come in second in your division.
Yeah, but what they're going to look at, they're going to say, look, this is how come we cannot do that on account of LSU and Alabama's in the same thing. And LSU outplayed them by 5 points, and they won. So you can't neglect what Alabama has done, because the only team they lost to was number one. Oregon lost to somebody who's not number one. Wasn't even close.
You can't let it, but you can't let a team that's in the clubhouse.
Oh, I'm with you. I don't think it has to be a champion. I'm with you that 100%.
Yeah.
But see, that's where a lot of these people like Alabama and Saban are complaining. Well, this cannot be right. It's like the ACC. When you go to Clemson side, it's loaded. When you get over to the other side, there's nobody over there.
Isn't it just so hypocritical from saying to say it's not fair that we might not get voted in, but everyone else has to go undefeated?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's what he's saying. Sorry, Oregon, you got to go undefeated or you can't get in. Sorry, Oklahoma, you got to win the Big 12 or you can't get in.
But that's what other coaches just start crying like Saban. I mean,
it is.
You know, that's all he does is cry, and that's how. I guarantee you, he'll cry his way in there again.
Because I mean, Oregon has played decent competition for the Pac-12. They did win at Washington. That's not an easy place to win at. You know, they're going to have to play the number 7 ranked team right now behind them in the conference championship in Utah, that'll be a neutral site game, but that'll still be a tough game as well. And, so to me, it's going to be tough.
Oregon and Alabama
Stanford.
are both 1-1 against ranked opponents.
Yeah, so
at
12 games, 1-1 against ranked opponents.
At least
10 meaningless games.
At least Oregon stepped up to the plate and played somebody out of conference that can beat you.
And Auburn, they played Auburn. That's what I can give them credit
Alabama's
for.
going to get their opportunity to play Auburn. And for us, I mean, we hope Alabama gets beat. That gives them 2 losses, then you're eliminated.
Well, Terry, so when App got beat for a loss, they lost 12 spots. Georgia lost 7, lost to the team that App beat.
But see, that's what I'm saying about these polls that disrespect, because there's no way you can be Minnesota and jump 9 teams all the way up there on county. You're unbeaten, and then the very next game you play, you falter.
I think the problem with that was Minnesota should have been up there to begin with. They shouldn't have had to jump 9 teams.
I agree.
When you're undefeated in the Big Ten, you can't. Well, you can't say that. Well, I think we went down the schedule in Minnesota and Alabama. You're like, you can't say that Alabama is that harder.
I think
than
you got to look at
Minnesota's.
who Minnesota has played. Maybe they was a cake puff.
That's what we were saying. But either way, you've got to give them the.
Because think about it, Alabama's schedule side by side to Minnesota's wasn't as impressive.
Not the same.
And they were still undefeated.
JP, you ready for a break? Break time. All right. Any other thoughts on the college football? Anything else?
I'm excited to watch the games today, and I'm really ready for conference championships.
Tom, trivia question. Name me the 6 winningest teams in college football since 2015. See if we can name them across the board. Go, Terry. Name one.
Alabama.
Man. Ohio State.
Say
Georgia.
It. All right, there's your teams. Now there's 3 more. Top 6 winning teams.
Clemson.
That's the number 1. Alabama was 2, Ohio State 3, Georgia 5. Who's 4?
Oklahoma.
Nailed it. Who's 6?
Oregon.
Nope.
Appalachian State. I knew where he was going with this.
Dun, 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 dun. I don't even know if that's the right fight song. But with the 6 most wins in America, right behind Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Georgia, the Appalachian State Mountaineers.
And you lost to Georgia Southern.
The 6-time national champion.
At home, on your own field, Halloween. In your own weather.
The 6-time national champion, Georgia Southern.
You also lost to Georgia last year, but
Georgia Southern says they own Appalachia.
They've got 6 more national champions than NC State does. All right, we'll be back in a minute. KDC Broadcasting.
Who are you? You're not a goat. Oh, you say you feel like a goat since you didn't buy your car from Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And now you're putting up with a bunch of bull. Don't be like my friend here. You get no bull at Renato Honda and Renato Kia at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard. Don't let another dealer get your goat.
Join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. for our Sunday morning worship services. On WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM, it's the Sunday morning service of First Baptist Church in Cherryville. On WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Covenant Bible Church in Lincoln. And on WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, it's the Sunday service of the Calvary Baptist Church of Shelby. Join us each and every Sunday morning for our Sunday morning worship services on The Boss and Carolina Country. Mason Whitaker of Lincoln High School is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting What's Up Shopper Scholar Athlete of the Month. Mason is a junior at Lincoln and is the son of Kevin and Emily Whitaker. Mason is a center striker for the Lincoln soccer team. He also plays football and wrestles. Mason has a grade point average of 4.4792 with advanced courses in calculus, Adobe Digital, and video design. He is a member of the Beta Club and FCA. He's a member of the Lincoln County Sheriff's Explorers and a junior class student representative. After graduation, Mason would like to play soccer in college and study architectural design. The Scholar Athlete of the Month is sponsored by McDonald's, the What's Up Shopper, and KTC Broadcasting.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Wednesday morning from 11 to 12 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Golf Shop Radio, Wednesday mornings at 11 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.3 FM, 1590 AM, online at ktcbroadcasting.com. Brought to you by Fred Caldwell Chevrolet in Clover, South Carolina.
Check out the great rates at Pine Mountain Golf Course. Play and ride weekdays for only $21. Seniors play and ride weekends for just $18. Or you can play and ride all day weekdays for only $28. Seniors can play and ride all day on weekends for $25. Make your tee time today by calling 828-433-4950. You'll love this challenging 18-hole par 68 course. The Pine Mountain Golf Course, adjacent to South Mountain State Park. Again, call 828-433-4950 for your tee time.
Who are you? You're not a goat. Oh, you say you feel like a goat since you didn't buy your car from Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And now you're putting up with a bunch of bull. Don't be like my friend here. You get no bull at Renato Honda and Renato Kia at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard. Don't let another dealer get your goat. Hi, I'm Calvin Hastings, and I want to invite you to join the boss for the Turkey Test Drive Sales Event this Saturday, November 23rd at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. When you take a test drive this Saturday, you'll get a certificate for a free turkey from Orris Supermarket in Shelby. Test drive a Honda, get a free turkey. Test drive a Kia, get a free turkey. Test drive a late model pre-owned vehicle, get a free turkey. This Saturday, November 23rd only. And join the boss for a live radio remote broadcast from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. We'll be there with free Subway sandwiches from Subway in Boger City, plus chips and soft drinks too. And be sure to register for a free turkey, plus free rounds of golf, free food certificates, boss t-shirts, and more. So plan now to be there this Saturday, November 23rd for the Turkey Test Drive Sales Event. And that's no bull. At Renato Auto Mall, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard, Shelby.
Cakes and cookies, toys and gifts. Christmas at your fingertips.
It's the shopping event of the season, the Southern Christmas Show, November 14th through 24th at the Park Expo and Conference Center. Explore a woodland Christmas with forest-inspired decorations for the merriest time of year, and shop hundreds of booths to find one-of-a-kind gifts for everyone on your list. Buy tickets online and save at southernChristmasShow.com.
Let's go to the Southern Christmas Show.
Reloaded, retooled, refocused. Always Carolina.
Drives to Brooks for the Thunder. Hello. Robinson open for a long three. Yes. Oh my! Garrison hangs and banks it home.
Join the Tar Heels for every moment of the 2019-2020 season as Carolina looks for another title, another trophy, another ring. Join us for every moment. Join us on the Tar Heels Sports Network.
Here's what's up in Cleveland, Gaston, and Lincoln counties. Brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country, WCSL, and The Boss, WOHS and WLON. The Uptown Shelby Holiday Carriage Rides will be on Washington Street in Shelby, 4 days leading up to Christmas. For more information, call 704-484-3100. A local church is seeking a bluegrass band to play for the church Christmas dinner on December 7th at 6 p.m. For more details, call 704-460-3593. And that's What's Up, brought to you by the What's Up Shopper, Carolina Country, WCSL 1590 AM and 92.3 FM. The Boss, WOHS 1390 AM and 101.5 FM, and WLON 1050 AM and 107.5 FM. For more information, go to whatsupshopper.com.
Who are you? You're not a goat. Oh, you say you feel like a goat since you didn't buy your car from Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And now you're putting up with a bunch of bull. Don't be like my friend here. You get no bull at Renato Honda and Renato Kia at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby, 4423 East Dixon Boulevard. Don't let another dealer get your goat.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. I think they're going to start on NFL now, but I wouldn't know.
What'd you say, JP?
I don't know what he was
I have
doing
no
there.
idea what he just got
I
through
said
saying.
good morning, and I guess they're talking about NFL now. I really don't know.
He don't know. All right, I got some fun notes today for the NFL. Number one, let's talk about Garrett earlier. Terry.
Here we go.
No, they didn't win a Super Bowl. A Hall of Fame running back, Heisman Trophy winning running back, agrees with Tom and I on the Garrett situation.
Jim
Mason Rudolph started it. No.
Oh. You're going to say it probably had to be from the Browns.
Heisman winning running back. I think he had 2,000 yards in a season,
He's
didn't he,
talking
Tom?
about O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson tweeted.
Wow.
O.J. Simpson agrees.
Like we're going to listen to him.
O.J.
I saw
Simpson
that.
agrees with Tom and I.
I saw that.
We've had a
Good job,
Tom,
guys.
Tom, we've had a good week.
Yeah.
We've been on Breitbart News. We've got O.J.
I am so
O.J.
glad
agrees
Kevin
with us.
said that.
Yeah, O.J. agrees with me.
OJ.
Who wouldn't want a
y'all wanna
Heisman
help
winning
you?
running
Y'all
back
going-
and
y'all going to play
Hall of
golf
Fame
later?
running back?
You going to play golf later?
I bet he could fix our swing. I bet he's got a good
Yeah,
swing.
O.J. knows how to finish a fight. That's for sure.
Hey, nobody has a better grip than O.J. Simpson. How about that?
all I'm saying,
Yeah.
is that I will say they baited Garrett and he took the bait. I'm just going to tell you, and that's how they got him suspended for the rest of the year.
He did.
Free Pouncey! Free Pouncey!
Now Pouncey, what he did was disgusting
No.
too, kicking a
No.
guy in the back, and everybody's
Yes.
like,
No.
if you're a real
I'm
man,
all for it.
if you're a real man, you don't kick somebody on the ground in the back.
I'm all for it.
Well,
do it.
So other news and notes across the board we had some fun with. Tom was at the Panthers game. And he sent, and there's a Twitter feed. It's called Empty Seats Galore on the
man.
NFL. And then
Wow.
Tom sent us a picture earlier, and I was like, well, I might be able to get a retweet here.
Look like FedEx.
And
Look like FedEx Field.
he sent me the pic. Tom sent me the picture, so I tagged
Oh, I
it,
see, yeah.
forwarded them all, and on the internet. So Terry, we got tagged, and they used Tom's picture to my tweets on Breitbart.com, the internet website. And so we had our pictures, or Tom's pictures featured on that. So that was a little fun with that. See what you think about this. I know we're going to make some fans mad with this one, but I gotta say it while we're there. Tom, you were there to witness the Panthers game and Falcons game, right?
Right.
So is EA Madden Sports, and they were there to grant McCaffrey a 99 rating. The only running backs to get those have been Barry Sanders, LaDainian Tomlinson, who was the other two? Marshall Faulk and Chris Johnson.
Ooh, CJ2K.
Were the only four people to ever get a 99 rating. And they were there to give McCaffrey and award him a 99 rating. You saw, I guess what I saw, the Falcons 2 weeks in a row destroy another NFC South team in the stadium, Tom, with the chance of ATL ringing across the stadium. It was.
Their fans are Atlanta fans.
It's only a 3-hour drive.
Have
so
you
it's
been to a Falcons? Have you been to a Falcons game at Falcon Stadium, the new one?
Not.
Well, I went to one
Yeah,
last year. Man, you want to talk about wild fans? Great stadium, but I agree with what you're saying. The fans, woo!
So Tom, tell us about what you saw as far as Panthers and Falcons in that game. You get a view of the NFC South. You don't get to do that much.
Yeah, Panthers. If you watch that game, and you're quick to put on Kyle Allen because he threw 4 interceptions, and he threw some bad interceptions. I don't know if he's a long-term answer. Well, I'll go ahead and say he's not. He's a good backup quarterback. What do you want to do with your backup quarterback? You want to go 500.
Mm-hmm.
If you can go 500 with your backup, that's pretty good. I think he'll have that role, in and out of teams through his career. I know he won a couple of ball games. I think they've studied the film on him, figured him out. They know his tendencies, and now it's showing. And that's what's going to happen with it. People wonder why these backup quarterbacks can come in and do well for a game or two. Well, who studies the backup quarterback? Hey, get in there. I want you to watch 10 hours of film on a guy who hadn't played in 3 years. So, I mean, that could be part of the explanation why he had success early. McCaffrey's a great player. I know you're always hating on him, Kevin, but he is really a great player.
Great.
He's a great player.
He's not 99.
I don't know.
He's not Barry Sanders.
He catches the ball well. He can run between the tackles.
He catches a heck of a swing pass.
He's good.
Yeah.
But
not 99.
what surprised me is Atlanta's ability to throw over the top, Terry. I mean, they threw over the top on them, and the Panthers' defense has been kind of what they've hung their hat on, and Atlanta just threw all up. Go ahead.
When you were watching that game, did you not sit there for a second, though, and think, because I know I did, I was like, man, this is what Atlanta should have been.
That's what I'm saying.
These past 2 years since they got blown 28-3 in the Super Bowl.
Matt,
it's like they forgot how to offense, and then all of a sudden, these past 2 weeks, we remembered. I don't understand.
The Falcons' defensive line looked pretty good too, though. They were able to get pressure on the quarterback, get some sacks. I mean, they caused the turnovers.
Falcons are taking themselves out
Do
of a
you
pretty
not
good
think,
draft
though,
pick.
as far as Allen, that he was playing above what he should play on account of, hey, I still had Cam back here. Now, all of a sudden, Cam's done. We're done. It's your team, and he's relaxed now.
Well, yeah, like I said, he's a backup quarterback. I mean, and still, like people say, well, he's not. He's a professional quarterback, okay?
Yeah.
Still. I mean, a lot of guys want to like trash, but he's still better than a lot of other people that play that position. If you're Carolina, you're going to have to go out and get somebody.
I think
you need to move on from Newton, but we'll see.
I think when it comes to the Kyle Allen thing, I don't think it's him getting relaxed because Cam Newton's out for the year. Because think about it, they just have a quarterback that you were undrafted and the Carolina picked you up. They drafted Will Grier. So they could always put him in over you at any time. But here's what I think is, I think Kyle Allen's had enough starts now. They got tape on him.
I agree.
All right, I got you guys. Because I knew that's where we're going to go, is that the Kyle Allen
They got
guy,
tape on him. I'm not going to sit here and say
the Kyle Allen throwing under the bus back.
He's not, but he's not the answer, of course. I think he's the transition piece.
He might be. So just stay with me here. See if it's hard for people to listen. I know you guys can listen. I'm talking about listeners. So follow the math with me, guys. In 8 seasons, Cam had 5 losing seasons, which means he was under 500 in 5 of the 8 years. The 3 winning seasons, okay? So that means he had 3 winning seasons, right? Were the only 3 seasons in his career that the Panthers had a top 10 defense. So when the Panthers are outside of a top 10 defense, Cam has a losing record. He's 0 for 5 without a top 10 defense. When he has a top 10 defense, 11 wins with the 9th best defense, 15 wins with the 6th best defense, 12 wins with the 2nd best defense. Now, the losing seasons, 7 wins, 19th, 6 wins, 26th, 5 wins, 21st, 7 wins, 18th, 6 wins, 27th. So only wins with the top 10, loses otherwise.
The general theme, though, Kevin, is you're going to win more games with a good defense.
That is. But guess what? Kyle Allen is the complete opposite of that. With the 25th ranked defense that Kyle Allen has played for 9 games, he's 6-3.
See, that surprises me.
The 25th for the games that Kyle Allen has been quarterback, they are 25th in scoring, guys. So we've been saying it for 8 years. It's all about the defense in Carolina. You can say Kyle Allen all you want, and he did throw 4 picks. That don't help at all. But as far as the scoring defense goes, Cam Newton never had a winning season without a top 10. Kyle Allen is 6-3 with the 25th ranked defense in the NFL. If that's Pat Mahomes or Drew, anybody else, we're saying, well, I mean, he's carrying them. So we're going to say McCaffrey's carrying them, which he probably is. But Kyle Allen is not the problem with this team when he's 6-3 with a 25th ranked defense in the NFL. So I just want to get those stats out there that Cam has never had a winning season without a top 10. Right now, the Panthers are 25th and Kyle Allen's 6-3 with that.
Are the Panthers 6-3 this year?
No, he is.
No.
They're 5-5 over this year. They've lost 2 with Cam. He's 5-3 this year. He won a game last year.
Okay, that's right.
In the season. So he's 6-3 overall, 5-3 this year.
I'm still saying
with the defense.
That being said, thank you for the math.
There you go.
They're going to have to get somebody. I don't know.
And they got Will Greer in the house too.
Well, they've already showed us that he's nothing because they don't even go to him.
Right.
Yeah,
unless they're pulling a thing where they just have him sitting for a year.
And
then go to him.
What's the name? What's the name? Tepper? Is that the guy who owns
David
the mountain?
Tepper.
He said that. And long story short, we are not going to put up with mediocrity. I'm not putting up with this. And I believe he's basically told Rivera and the general manager and everybody, look, we're not putting up 5-5 in Charlotte. And I think he means it.
Here's what I think happened is that when Cam got hurt, Kyle Allen was the backup, ready, and he was prepared. I don't think they thought Cam was going to be out for the season. So we don't put Will Greer in immediately because maybe he's not ready. We just draft him. There's no point putting the rookie in to the Wolves. We're trying to make the playoffs. Let's throw Kyle Allen for 2 games. Oh, no, he's out for the season. Well, Kyle's went on and won all these games. I don't even know if it's a thing that it's Will's even that bad, or it could be, well, this is just how it played out, kind of. Because I don't think I don't see why you would have shoved Greer in that situation anyway that early in the season and not put Allen in it.
Well, you're still not going to put him in that. You're still going to make the playoffs. You're 5-5.
You're not putting him in now.
They're actually in the wild card hunt.
They are. I mean, they play New Orleans Sunday.
I know.
So they fall to
that
5
to
and
me,
6.
yeah, they're out of that now.
No faith for that, Terry?
No faith at all.
I don't know. I don't know. It was weird how New Orleans got beat by Atlanta like that. And then they bounced back next week.
And see, we can talk about Carolina, but I think the real story in that game is Atlanta. It's back-to-back weeks where you're basically nullifying offenses, shutting them down, and then putting up 20-plus. You haven't done that in 2 years.
Can they win 6 in a row?
They're not going to.
No, they
That's
can't.
what I'm saying.
They can't win 6 in a row. Unless I don't know what their schedule looks like.
All right, let me give you the top defenses in the NFL. There's 12 defenses. There's 12 teams that make the playoffs. This is ironic. There's 12 teams giving up less than 20 points a game. 48 of the 50 was 55 now. So it was 48 of the 53 Super Bowls have been won by a top 12 defense. So always look at these teams in your playoff teams. Who's the playoff teams right now? Patriots are number 1, 49ers 2, Bills 3, the Vikings 5, Ravens 6, Cowboys 7, 8, 9. Rams are out at 10, Chargers are out at 11, and the Saints in at 12. So there's your 6 teams that are in the playoffs right now with a top 12 defense. Packers sitting at 14. Colts are at 15, Texans down at 17, and the Browns are at 18. Tom, if you was wondering where they were. And so that's on down. That's your defensive look. In the playoffs right now, it'd be Minnesota at New Orleans in round 1, Seattle at Dallas, with San Francisco, the 1 seed, Green Bay, the 2. Out in the AFC, it would be Raiders at Texans and Bills at Chiefs in round 1, with Patriots and Ravens getting the bye. Let's do the schedule for this week. Pick the games, and we'll talk Terry's NASCAR champion in a minute. A little bit of other things. All right, Bucks at Falcons this week. Anybody not picking the Falcons? They're favored by 3.5 at home.
I'm going to take Atlanta at home.
After smoking the
Is
Panthers
this not
and the
funny,
Saints,
though, when you think of this?
they're only favored
We
by
talking
3.5
about
at home.
The Falcons, and here's a game: Buccaneers 3-7, Falcons 3-7, and we're like Tampa Bay has no chance.
Well, it's 3.5 points. They're only favored by 3.5, and just smoked the 2 teams ahead of them.
I don't know, but to me, it just feels like Atlanta has caught lightning in a bottle right now. And if they play how they have the past 2 weeks at home, okay, it's in a dome, so everything's faster on turf and inside on a dome. So To me, Atlanta is just going to have to ride this hot hand. Would it surprise me if the Buccaneers win? No, because I've seen Jameis put 55 on the Los Angeles Rams this year. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. Bruce Arians is a competent coach, but I would take the Falcons right now, just what I've seen these past 2 weeks. I would take Atlanta right now. I think
I'm taking the Falcons.
I think they figured it out on the offensive side of the ball, and it only took them
Watch this game, though.
too late.
You just watch this game be one of those at 17-14.
Take the under.
Two of the
Take
top
the under.
10 defenses in the NFL face off in Buffalo today. Or tomorrow. Denver at Buffalo. Bills favored by 3.5. Buffalo has the worst win strength of schedule percentage of the playoff teams in the AFC. The Bills win at home?
Yeah.
Tom, you've seen them in person.
I just don't. I think that the book on Kyle Allen is you pressure him. If you pressure him, he's one of the lowest rated quarterbacks in football. You know who the
Josh
lowest?
Allen?
You know who the
Josh
lowest?
Allen.
But yeah, what did I say?
You said Kyle.
I'm sorry.
Why are we
Josh
back
Allen,
on
sorry.
Kyle Allen?
No.
What did he do?
Terry, who is the lowest rated quarterback in the NFL under pressure?
Aaron Rodgers.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield.
Tom Brady.
Oh.
Really?
Actually, I heard that.
That don't surprise me. That's every time they got beat.
Yeah, he doesn't like
And
to
listen,
crap out of him.
I was listening to the Eagles on a network which will remain unnamed. But I was listening to their people, and boy, they just give Tom Brady a hard time. Ooh, he doesn't like to get dirty. He doesn't want to get tackled. He gets rid of the ball, you know.
That's
And,
been the book on him for years. That's how they won. That's how the Giants beat them.
But it was kind of they kept but they kept giving him a hard time the whole game. But yeah, he is the lowest rated quarterback. And now he's about 68 years old. But
About 68
you know,
years
I
old.
mean, he's
Hey, I'm skipping these next
Let me tell
couple
you
of
something,
games here.
But the Bills Broncos game, that's the Allen Bowl. The Allen Bowl. Josh Allen versus whatever the other Allen Bowl
Bears
is for
hosting
Broncos.
Giants, that doesn't mean anything to anyone.
No.
Steelers going to Cincinnati, that doesn't mean
We're on
anything
to
to anyone.
Cincinnati.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, though. When you sit back and think about this, when we talk about the Bears, remember there was some publication magazine who picked them last.
Last. Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
Sports
Last.
Illustrated. Last in their division.
Hey, I'm pretty sure KTC might have too. I was not high on no Bears. I don't know what my preseason prediction was, but sure wasn't winning the division. I think someone in this room might have picked the Bears to win the division.
I don't
before
know
the
if I
season
picked
started.
they said Trubisky's hurt. That might be the best thing for him.
They say he's got a hip pointer,
Try
but
to
he
tell
still
y'all.
might play.
Can the Browns get by the Dolphins?
I don't know, Tom. 10.5 point favorites at home.
That with
You're not
you've
10
got,
and a half
You've got
points
Demarius
better.
Randall out. Ogunjobi, he'll be watching. Miles Garrett's gone for the. I don't know. I mean,
Listen.
Fitzpatrick can pull a rabbit out of the hat too.
Let me tell you something. You're a 10 and a
Fear
half.
the
Well, that's
beard.
not a 10 and a, I hate to say it. I like Cleveland, but I don't think they're a 10 and a
I
half.
see. I
point
think
favorite.
Vegas is
No.
baiting all the Hunter
Yeah.
Yanceys in. They're baiting all the Yanceys in.
Baiting me what?
To take
No.
the Dolphins. They're baiting them in.
No, they're gonna. Yeah, look, the
See, but
Dolphins have
you're
surprised
forgetting.
people.
You're forgetting the Dolphins have no defense. They traded their best defensive player to Pittsburgh. They just seem like they traded their best defensive lineman away too. They have no defense.
You know, it's funny you say that. At one point, the Dolphins were ahead on Dallas. The Dolphins were ahead on my disgusting Washington team.
Oh wow!
I know that one was tough. They were ahead on the Buffalo Bills at one point.
They're still a professional football team.
That's what I'm
Hunter, but
saying.
I'm
That's
not
what I'm
saying
saying.
that, but
So
they're-
and Cleveland, you have not impressed me at all this year, even though you beat Mason Rudolph.
You've won 4 games.
So I mean, I was the one that was sitting here thinking, along with everybody else, that Cleveland was going to have a really great season. But I'm not going to sit here and say you're 10 and a half points better than the Dolphins.
Listen, the Browns 4 wins against
To me,
teams
you're
have more
6.5.
wins than the Cowboys 6 teams that they
Yeah.
beat. Panthers at Saints 10-point spread. Saints over the Panthers. Terry said no chance. Y'all two agree on that
I
one?
guess New Orleans.
Are you making the bet on the 10-point spread though?
Oh, yeah.
Who's New Orleans got?
Panthers.
They're favored by 10.
Yes, in the Dome.
At home. I would take New Orleans to cover.
I don't know. It depends on Drew Brees. I mean, he's had good games and not so good games since he's been back.
I agree, but I think the Saints' defense is better.
Their DBs
Their
are
defense is
Panthers
better than the
DBs are
Falcons.
suspect.
Yeah, the
They
Saints'
can throw-
defense is
yeah.
better than the Falcons.
How are they going to cover Michael Thomas? You know, they couldn't.
Did you
they
see
shouldn't-
the
yeah.
monster season he's having?
Yeah.
He's got more receptions than the Eagles wide receivers and Ravens wide receivers, and more receiving yards than both those
Kevin,
teams.
where did he go to school? Remind me.
Who?
Michael Thomas.
Where did Oh, Ohio State.
He's on a quarterback, Tom.
The team that can't pass the ball.
Yeah,
accordingly.
They can't. They have good wide receivers. Keyshawn's a good wide receiver.
They just don't ever throw to him.
Teddy Ginn can run fast. They just ain't got a quarterback. That's the problem, Tom.
Yeah.
Y'all need NC State quarterbacks up there.
Yeah.
Y'all might win something, right, Terry?
Not this year's.
They would be on
quarterback.
not this year's. All right, JP, in just a few minutes. Probably about 5 more minutes, JP. How about this? Raiders rookie group is the first to have 10-plus sacks and 10-plus touchdowns, the whole rookie, offense and defense, in the first 10 games, I know this is a random stat as it can get, since 1982.
I think they did really
The
good. The
best rookie class, according to that stat, since 1982. Raiders, 6-4. They go to the Jets where the Cowboys couldn't win.
They'll beat them.
I think the Raiders will beat the Jets.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders are having a
They're
really
3-point
good season.
favorites.
The Raiders, I think it's a good example
Be
of
careful.
addition by subtraction. Got rid of Antonio Brown. Saved your season.
Yeah.
Gruden reminds me of Jimmy Johnson. Just give him time.
Yeah, he's a good
But
coach.
what did Jimmy Johnson do when he got there? Cleaned house. Got rid of everything, brought my own players in. John Gruden did the exact same
I mean, just
thing.
like he got rid of Mack and everybody, and people thought,
Yeah.
"Oh, what a bad thing you just did." Look at him.
I didn't like that. Still didn't like that trade though.
The Philadelphia favored by
Seattle.
1
Let's go
at
get
home against Seattle.
Nobody respects Seattle.
I know.
They were underdogs at Cleveland. They're underdogs at Philadelphia. I mean, they're just.
Hey, Russell Wilson hasn't won a playoff game in 3 years, though.
Russell Wilson has not had a losing season since he's come in the NFL.
That's true, too. Never happened.
At the Eagles, their offense was just. Ugh.
Their receiving core is.
I watched
awful.
that. Did you watch that game against
That's
the Patriots,
awful.
Terry?
All I got to do is
watch that
tell
game?
you they overpaid Carson Wentz, y'all. I mean, this is the guy that you said leading you to where you need to go. Wrong.
How many
answer.
times do I have to see Nelson Aguilar drop a pass until they cut him?
I think anybody at $30 million, Terry, is overpaid. Eagles have the only logo that is facing the opposite way in the NFL. Anybody want to pick the game? We had all kinds of comments about it.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna take. You know what? I'm gonna give Russell Wilson and Seahawks a bunch of respect. I'll take Seattle to win
taking
west
Seattle.
to east. They're gonna be on the East Coast.
I don't think the Eagles can score.
All right, if you're in hell today, you might be watching Detroit at Washington.
Fun fact: I know that says
That's tomorrow.
I know that says a ticket lower at $9. You can find them for $4.
$4. You can get tickets to this game in the upper deck.
Go up to FedEx Field.
Yeah.
I'd go just to see the stadium. I would go just
That's
to go.
our home stadium.
Do what?
That's our home stadium.
The Redskins have
That's
scored.
Dallas is home away from Dallas.
Redskins have now scored 16 straight quarters without scoring a touchdown,
Yeah.
Hunter. The most since 2001.
What are you talking about? We scored a
I
touchdown
would go
last
just.
week.
To,
I know,
hey,
then you broke the
I would
streak.
go just to witness history. Then I was there when they went 20 straight quarters
No,
without.
They broke
we broke
it.
it
That
last
was
week.
the-
Oh, okay.
We broke it last
Okay.
week. We
Okay.
scored last week. It was a touchdown pass to Darius.
My bad.
I'm gonna tell you what. We'll score. I'll say we'll score another touchdown this week. But
yeah.
we're gonna lose to Jeff Driscoll. Maybe.
Florida's own Jeff Driscoll.
Yeah, if y'all can't win that one, Hunter, that's not good. The Cam Newton Future Bowl, the Jaguars at Titans.
I'm gonna take the Tennessee Titans.
Titans at home by 3.5.
I'm taking Jaguars.
Hey, this is the second game Foles is back in. Look, Jaguars
first one didn't look good.
might accidentally put 30. It's one of those games where you get the second game back, quarterback gets feeling a little bit better.
I can never root for Nick Foles now. He ended my Minshew mania, and I don't like it.
Nick Foles has more, and Colin Kaepernick both have more playoff wins than Cam Newton. Kaepernick hasn't played since 2016. Cowboys at Patriots. Patriots by 6.5, 45 degrees and raining in Foxborough. Terry.
Go ahead, Terry. It's your team.
I don't know, man. It's Tom Brady playing. They said he's
playing.
questionable.
They said he played.
Okay,
I
he's
read the
playing.
report last night.
I figured he was scared because we were coming. Be careful. These are the games when Dallas went to Pittsburgh and nobody thought they could win there, and Dallas won. Be careful on this one. Dallas pulls a fourth quarter come from behind win.
You want to predict the score?
27-24.
Has anyone ever had a fourth quarter come back from behind win
On
against
the
the
Patriots?
Patriots?
That's what I'm saying.
I know Tom Brady's had plenty of those.
That's what I'm saying.
Here,
Tom,
it's
we
gonna
got,
happen.
we got Tom.
I hate to say this.
Is Jason Garrett gonna go out coach Belichick in Foxborough? Come on.
They were
No.
talking a lot about this game. It's just like the two premier franchises playing.
Yeah, they said this is a battle of America's teams.
Mm-hmm.
That's your Super Bowl coming up.
No,
A battle of
Super
the
Bowl.
teams America loves to hate. And it's
Here's-
going to be the
okay,
Patriots.
Terry-
Their defense, Terry, is too good.
Terry, I'm taking Dallas. I
The
think
Redskin fan takes
and
Dallas
and that's
and New
what,
England.
I know. This is what's so crazy. I'm taking
Are you
Dallas
drinking?
in New England. No. It's because I also heard that Mohamed Sanu is going to be out in this game for New England. I'm going to be honest. I don't know who they're going to throw to. I love Julian Edelman. Got him on my fantasy team. I think he's the most underrated wide receiver in football.
He's good.
He's very good. But, I mean, eventually you're going to run out of weapons.
All right,
So,
we got to go in a minute. Ravens at Rams. We're going to skip Packers for now. We heard that from Will.
yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens.
You're 8 all yours.
Jack, yeah,
Take that
oh,
home.
God, yeah, you know I hate that.
I never got to it. Ravens at Rams, Terry. Rams need this one, really.
They do. Somewhere along the line, Ravens could run into a juggernaut, and it might be the Rams.
It's a cross-country flight, guys. I almost never pick the cross-country team if it's an even matchup.
The Ravens playing well, and the Rams are not playing well right now, especially offensively.
LJ era has begun.
All right, JP, let's take a break. We'll be back in a minute. We got to talk NASCAR Championship and next week's games on KTCBroadcasting.com.
Who are you? You're not a goat. Oh, you say you feel like a goat since you didn't buy your car from Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. And now you're putting up with a bunch of bull. Don't be like my friend here. You get no bull at Renato Honda and Renato Kia at Renato Auto Mall in Shelby. 4423 East Dixon Boulevard. Don't let another dealer get your goat.
Make your business or office a Boss of Carolina Country listener post. All you have to do is tune your radio in your business or office to 101.5 FM, 107.5 FM, or 92.3 FM. Let us know and we'll put your name on the radio. And each month we'll have a drawing from our area listening post for a dozen breakfast biscuits from the Creekside Clock Restaurant in Shelby, along with coffee or tea. Area listening posts include Promotion Motors in Lincoln, Cherryville Signs and Graphics, Lowe's in Lincoln, Watson Carpet and Tile Lincoln, RD Mattress Cherryville, Carolina Furniture in Lincoln, Memory Lane in Krause, Davis Brothers Automotive in Lincoln, It's Your Feed in Cherryville, Deja Vu Consignments in Cherryville. So make your business or office a Boss or Carolina Country listening post today.
When you shop our local advertisers, be sure to tell them you heard it on the radio. That way they'll know that their radio dollars they spend works for them and you too. Even in today's fast-moving world, radio remains the leading media to reach more people. 93% of Americans listen to AM/FM radio over the air. TV viewership is 89%, smartphone use is 83%, and personal computer use is 50%. So if you're a business owner, reach more people with the power of radio. If you don't tell it, you can't sell it. See the power of radio. WOHS Shelby, WLON Lincoln, WCSL Cherryville. Online at ktcbroadcasting.com.
Mason Whitaker of Lincoln High School is this month's McDonald's KTC Broadcasting What's Up Shopper Scholar Athlete of the Month. Mason is a junior at Lincoln and is the son of Kevin and Emily Whitaker. Mason is a center striker for the Lincoln soccer team. He also plays football and wrestles. Mason has a grade point average of 4.4792 with advanced courses in calculus, Adobe Digital, and video design. He is a member of the Beta Club and FCA. He's a member of the Lincoln County Sheriff's Explorers and a junior class student representative. After graduation, Mason would like to play soccer in college and study architectural design. The Scholar Athlete of the Month is sponsored by McDonald's, the What's Up Shopper, and KTC Broadcasting. It's time to play at the Green Meadows Golf Course on Kelly Road in Mount Holly. Play and ride Monday through Friday for $25. Weekends just $30. Seniors ride and play Monday through Friday for $20. And every Wednesday is Ladies' Day. Ladies play and ride for just $15. So make your tee time now by calling the Green Meadows Golf Course, 704-827-9264. Green Meadows Golf Course, 957 Kelly Road in Mount Holly.
And welcome back. We're reaching the home stretch. They're talking NASCAR, so I say we're in the last lap of the race.
I like how he put that. Home stretch, NASCAR. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I'll have to take me.
That's all I know about
He's getting
NASCAR.
close to.
I was about to say, do you think he accidentally did that?
He might have, but I don't know.
Tom, I'm starting to feel like you a little bit.
I'm waiting for you to wrap this thing up, man. I got home at midnight last night and had to turn around, come back in here.
Hey, I was looking for Lance. I was looking for Lance's list on here on the coaches, but I don't see his name right on this list. But I'm trying to find another one. But there is a list of director of athletic performance app is Jeff Jones.
What?
It says director of athletic performance, Jeff Jones.
Yeah, well,
wrong Jeff Jones. Hey, did you know, Tom, that Calvin Hastings made a tackle last week at South Point?
I didn't know that. Calvin Hastings.
2 weeks ago.
Did he get up and make the tackle and then say, "Hey, I'm Calvin Hastings and I made that tackle"?
they got a linebacker named Hastings, and during the Shelby game, the announcer accidentally said tackled by Calvin Hastings. It was clear as day. You could hear it on the radio, and Jeff and Brent had a good chuckle at that one on the radio.
Dang, Calvin, didn't know you still had it in you. I thought you were going to say like Calvin was out there and someone was making off with one of his speakers. He had to tackle him down.
Kyle Busch wins the NASCAR championship, Terry. Let me give you an idea, and then dominating season, his second championship. He said this one. He himself said this one is more validating than the other one. He said the other one had an asterisk on it. So Busch, when it pulls it out, they had 3 teammates in the Final Four.
Mm-hmm.
Toyota and Ford's been pretty dominant of late. I just want to read you how dominant Hendrick Motorsports, right? They got 4 cars. So these are the average speeds per car on the season, Terry. You ready? Who do you think had the fastest car on average the whole year?
The whole year?
Yep.
Kevin Harvick.
Kevin Harvick.
Okay.
The 4 car had the fastest car this year. The 18 car was second. 19 was third. Martin Truex, right?
Yeah.
Fourth, Denny Hamlin.
Toyota.
So those top
Ford,
four,
Toyota.
the top 4 teams that made the Final Four were all the top 4 average fastest speed drivers this year. Penske at 5. Who's CGR? Chip Ganassi?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Is at 6 with Kyle Larson. So Larson was 6th. Okay. The 22 of Penske was 7th. And not until 8th place do you get the Chevrolet from Hendricks.
Is it Chase Elliott?
At Chase Elliott.
Yeah.
24 Hendricks is 13th. Jimmy Johnson 15th. And the 88 16th in speed. Which that leads us also, and we'll have more to talk about it next year. The announcement, I don't know if you saw it, Jimmy Johnson announcing that this will be his last year. I'm a big Jimmy Johnson fan, have been since the first year. A couple of quick thoughts on it. That's my son's favorite driver and everything. So the reason I started pulling for him, Terry, is we were Petty fans. He's against Earnhardt. Well, when Petty retires, who am I going to pull for? But the only person beating Earnhardt is Jeff Gordon. So my grandmother thought Jeff Gordon was cute. She's watching Jeff Gordon, so she, God rest her soul. She was a Jeff Gordon fan, and so I just started. I started pulling for Jeff because he's the only person that could keep Earnhardt from maybe breaking any of Richard's records. So when Earnhardt died in 2001, that was Jimmy Johnson's rookie season. Well, I really didn't have any that big affiliation to Gordon, so I was like, Lowe's. I'm in Boone. Rookie driver is Hendricks. I tell you what, I'm just gonna start pulling for this rookie, the 48 car. And from then on out, this is my driver ever since. And 7 championships later. These last few years have been a little frustrating. You look at these stats. I just read you the speed stats.
Yeah.
Why is Jimmy? You ask yourself, why is he retiring? At what age? Do people want to know why is Carl Edwards retires? Why and when do race car drivers retire? Sometimes it's sponsorship. Sometimes it's ability. Sometimes you're just tired. To me, it's kind of weird. I thought Jimmy would almost race till he's about 50, trying to get that eighth championship. And is it a combination of you're at that stage, age, Terry? Just an opinion on us. And is Chevrolet's department that bad to where, he's looking at him like I don't have a chance of actually winning a championship because we don't have this speed. And am I going to put 3 years into this? Without the speed, and maybe he don't want to change. Kevin Harvick changed manufacturers. He's 44.
44. Okay.
He's 44. So he's there. He's at retirement age. A lot of them, 45 is really
Because I was listening to Kyle Busch on that podcast. And
he's
like,
34.
And they were like, when would you think about it? And he said, well, I think I got another 10 years left in me.
He's
so
10 years.
That would be about the same age that Jimmy's at right now. So
there's about a 20-year. The drivers the good ones have a 20-year window, basically, from 20 to 40, 25, 45.
Do you know what I think Hendricks need to do? And this is just me. Since Jimmy's come up and said, look, this is going to be it. Bite the bullet. take Chad Canals, put him back over there, because
For
that's
1
when
year.
they were good,
Mm-hmm.
and make one last run. You know, I mean, is he good enough to make the playoffs? Yeah, he's good.
That's the thing about the drivers.
You know?
Like, I don't think like a lot of times, you know, so we lose these drivers like Carl Edwards and stuff, and Kenseth and Newman and stuff, and a lot of it when it has to do with the sponsorship. And that's one thing that I've always thought that NASCAR needed to work towards changing, is figuring out some way to get to league-wide sponsorship. You know what I mean? So, you know, maybe some ones, they're putting so much money into it that they actually price sponsors that want to be. There's plenty of sponsors that want to be in NASCAR. But they do a lot of.
Can't we have a KTC car?
It's
Why can't we
very.
have a KTC car?
It's very expensive, and you know these guys. I just think NASCAR it's always been that family-oriented business, separate race teams. But at some point, if you put them all together under the same roof somehow, you could extend drivers' careers like Jimmy and Ryan and Carl, and say, or you know, Dale is a concussion problem. But my point is that you wouldn't be pushing them out for sponsorship problems, and I don't think that should ever be the deal. I think it should be Jimmy wanting to quit and retire. My other question in the last few years, and I've been pointing at this, and he denies it. He's 44 years old. About 37, 38, about last 5-6 years, he started doing marathons and triathlon and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't do it like, you know, during the off season. He'll run a marathon on Saturday, the day before a race, and then come and race. And he says he does it for condition and stuff. Well, the other 37 drivers are not running marathons.
Yeah.
And they're winning races too. So I just don't see how that couldn't take away as far as the energy, the driving. If I ran 26 miles or 13, whatever I did, or biked on Friday or Saturday, how am I going to feel in a race car for 3 hours in the heat?
Well, Terry, go ahead.
Sitting in a car. And I don't know. There's so many weird circumstances to this. I don't know how to feel about it yet, and to get the exact what's going on here.
Terry, go ahead and give your perspective on what you think. Just
on
the Jimmy thing.
I just think, I mean, when winning does not become fun anymore, and I think that's how it is for Jimmy.
And they hadn't won.
That's what I'm
saying. They hadn't won at all. They're 15th in speed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And when you're out there and you're just racing around a racetrack, and I think that's one of the reasons. Don't get me wrong. I know injury had a little bit to do with Dale Jr. Of reason he got out of it. But when it becomes that you're not at the front and you're not competing and you're just middle of the pack, some guys will like that because they're making money.
Right.
You know, but for Jimmy and NASCAR champions,
Jimmy and Dale got too many commas in their bank account to ride 15th.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's
and
totally
risk your health
different.
and life with kids.
To me, out of the two scenarios that you said, where it came down to just his age, or is it the fact that the Chevrolets are not running too good? To me, it's just a combination of both of them. He said, look, this is definitely a sport I could be in until I'm 50. But what's the point of me just sitting here coming in 16th or 17th every week? I don't really have a chance against these Toyotas and Fords.
He said he's going to maybe race some other stuff, though, maybe some, you know.
Oh, he's going to do the Indy 500.
Okay.
I can almost guarantee that. He wants to do the 24 hours of Le Mans race. He wants to do every type of race he grew up as a dirt bike racer. That's his background.
He's where he can do what he wants.
He can.
And that's where I want to get in life.
I'm just sad that
I can just do what I want.
I think the saddest thing for me, he had a wonderful, great career, is that he didn't get a chance really to go at that 8th championship.
Yeah.
Because it's after he won his 7th, when they changed the cars, Chevrolet just dropped off the map completely. When Kevin Harvick, he switched. When Stuart Haas switched from Shelby to Ford, that has to tell you everything you need, don't it, Terry?
It should. It should.
I mean, I just something happened there in the technology and the sponsorships and all. But good wishes, Jimmy. We'll talk about that all next year. All right, JP. Happy Saturday, buddy. It's raining. Have a good day. Tom, you guys got to get ready for a big game this week against the North Lincoln Knights. That game will be on WLON and on video. Tom and Ken Link will have that, and Matt Royster. And Hunter may be up there patrolling the sidelines, getting some extra video and sideline reporting
Saying
for us.
hey to everybody I know up there. I got to keep Kerry Miller in line.
Either myself and Jason will be in Asheville next week for Kings Mountain AC Reynolds, or if I can talk Tim Foster and Robbie going up there, I'm going to send them up there so I can hang around here for some of these other games and post-game shows and stuff. We're going to have Kings Mountain at AC Reynolds next week live on video, as long as the people in Atlanta don't claim that. And then we'll have also the Shelby Golden Lions hosting the West Lincoln Rebels on that. We do need some extra sponsorships on that, folks. For you West Lincoln fans, give us a call this week so we can get you guys on video this week over at Shelby. Shelby Golden Lions hosting West Lincoln. That game will also be on WHS and WCSL both. Any final thoughts, guys, for the weekend? We get out here. We got Thanksgiving this week. Happy Thanksgiving to all our folks.
Go Buckeyes.
Yeah, and I want to say one thing. I lost my aunt this past week on Monday. She lived down at North Myrtle Beach, but she meant a lot to me. She is 89 years old, and just a wish for her.
Yeah.
Sorry, Terry.
Yep. Sorry for your loss. Guys, we'll see you guys next week. We're gonna have three games. Happy Thanksgiving to the folks. Cowboys play on Thursday. Anybody else know the other games? I know Detroit plays.
Detroit and Chicago plays.
I don't know who the late one is.
I don't know.
Detroit and Chicago sounds like a good game to take a nap through.
Big nap.
Yeah.
Full of turkey.
Big nap.
While you're eating.
Yes. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week on ktcbroadcasting.com.
Old Man Winter is just around the corner, and I'm sure you're tired of getting in and out of your car in the rain, sleet, and snow. That problem is no problem at all with a call to Acre Enterprises in Cherryville. They have a wide variety of carports for tough winter weather, and come in now for special pricing on you 12-foot 3x12 metal roofing. Available in many colors to choose from at only $20 a sheet. At Acre Enterprises, located at 1220 Shelby Highway, Highway 150 West.